This page is the cover of Nintendo Dream Volume 72 from August 21, 2002. It loudly proclaims, with over 200 pages, the new Nindori starts, and highlights its new bi-monthly schedule, now releasing on the 6th and 21st. The main feature is the highly anticipated Super Mario Sunshine, with a massive 40-page section dedicated to strategy and messages. You can even see the "We Love Mario" text on the cover. Featured games prominently listed include F-Zero GC, Golden Sun, The Lost Age, Pokémon Ruby/Sapphire, Phantasy Star Online, Sonic Advance 2, Mickey Mouse's Magical Mirror, and Beach Spikers. This issue is a big deal, showcasing a bunch of exciting releases and marking a fresh start for the magazine. This page is an advertisement or feature for Black Matrix Zero on the Game Boy Advance, set to release on August 30th for 5,800 yen. The artwork features several of the game's characters in a dynamic pose, giving you a feel for the anime-inspired aesthetic. You can see the protagonist group, including a serious-looking character with glasses, another with white wings, and some younger companions like the boy with the red scarf. There are also a couple of screenshots showcasing the tactical grid-based combat and character portraits during dialogue. This title is part of the Black Matrix series, known for its strategic RPG gameplay and often dark or morally ambiguous themes, though this GBA entry has a slightly lighter, more chibi look compared to some earlier titles on consoles like the Sega Saturn or PlayStation. It looks like a solid addition to the Gegba's RPG library, offering that classic flight plan strategy goodness on the go. This page is an advertisement for a NEC Interchannel Fan Appreciation event, a little special 3, this time it's a summer festival, held on August 10, 2002, featuring game announcements, exhibitions, and more with free admission. This page is a full-page advertisement for Tokimeki Yume Series, Volume 1. Let's Become a Florist, on Game Boy Advance, a game for girls about collecting flowers and creating arrangements. This page showcases 2 GBA games from MTO, the latest Nakayoshi Pet Series title, Kawaii Koneko, and the Tokimeki Yume series Daisuki Teddy, featuring a bear naming contest. This page announces the official strategy guide for the incredible Game Boy Advance RPG Golden Sun, The Lost Age. This guide, planned for a July 26th release and packing a hefty 288 pages, promises to be a crucial companion. It's designed specifically to make finding information easy, integrating maps, strategy details, and monster data right where you need them, cutting down on frustrating page flipping. The guide delves deep into using Jin and Synergy, explaining class changes and unique abilities, while also detailing monster stats and weaknesses right on the relevant map pages. The page features some fantastic artwork of the sequel's protagonists, Felix, Jenna, Sheba, and Piers. It also teases strategy guides for the upcoming August releases, Super Mario Sunshine and Custom Robo GX, promising in-depth coverage for those titles too. This page features a vibrant advertisement for the Nintendo GameCube game Mutsu 2 Nohong, a communication adventure title published by Tommy's. Scheduled for a July 19th release at 6,800 yen, this unique game lets players dive into a mysterious water world. The core gameplay revolves around raising charming creatures called Mutsu, including new characters like Nanamutsu and Yukimutsu. You can care for up to 12 different Mutsus, customizing their appearance with over 300 item variations. Beyond simple care, you teach them words, learn songs, race, and even get fortunes. The page showcases the colorful visuals and various activities available. It also briefly highlights related Mutsu merchandise, including a physical toy line called Mutsu Waterlooper Mutsu, and a Game Boy Advance version of the game, both already available. There's even a fun collaboration mentioned where Mutsu is the face of a 120 vegetables drink. This page is an advertisement for the official strategy guide for Sakura Momoko no Ukiyuki Carnival, a charming Game Boy Advance title featuring the distinct art style of the creator of Chibi Maruko-chan. The game itself isn't too tough to finish, but the real goal is to throw a fantastic carnival by getting lots of characters and creatures to attend. This guide is your roadmap to making that happen. It dives deep into how to gather the necessary information, explaining techniques for finding townspeople and the quirky Monpai creatures, even covering how to use in-game online tools and interacting with various in-game websites to maximize your carnival attendance. The page also lists previously released strategy guides for popular Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color games, showing the breadth of guides available from this publisher. Plus, there's a contest mentioned where buying a guide lets you enter a monthly prize draw for toy vouchers. This page advertises Metal Gun Slinger for Game Boy Advance, releasing September 27th for 5,200 yen. This vertical/horizontal scrolling action game is also expanding into manga, radio, and CD media. This page is an advertisement for Shaman King Cho Senjir Yaketsu 2 on Game Boy Advance. This card battle game releases July 26, 2002, featuring over 600 cards, campaign mode, and communication battles. This page is the table of contents for Nintendo Dream, Volume 72, published on August 21, 2002. The main feature is a massive 40-page strategy guide for the highly anticipated Super Mario Sunshine, complete with support messages and a "We Love Mario" section, highlighting fan memories of the iconic plumber. Other key features include an exclusive manga titled Star Fox Farewell, My Beloved Falco, and updates on Animal Crossing Plus, including the results of a Village Pride contest. The new software and strategy information section covers a wealth of titles like Zero GCAC, Pokemon Ruby/Sapphire, Golden Sun, The Lost Age, Super Mario Advance 3, Sonic Advance 2, Mega Man and Bass, Resident Evil 0, Custom Robo GX, and Klonoa 2. Dream Champ Tournament, showcasing exciting new releases for GameCube and Game Boy Advance. There are also screenshots from Super Mario Sunshine. The Game Index provides a quick reference list of all games featured in the issue across various platforms, including GameCube and Game Boy Advance, directing readers to the relevant page numbers for strategies and information on a wide range of games. A section is also dedicated to the magazine's regular columns and recurring features. This page announces a huge giveaway featuring super rare items for 200 lucky readers across 2 issues. They've pulled together some truly hard-to-find treasures. Up for grabs are coveted items like the Wavebird wireless controller for GameCube, noted as being incredibly difficult to acquire in Japan at the time, a limited edition Nintendo shoulder bag given out to reporters at E3 2002, a set of nostalgic Pokemon Center goods including a cool grand opening t-shirt, and an assortment of E3 exclusive goodies, including a Metroid Prime t-shirt and an E3 limited card E+. This is a chance to snag some seriously unique pieces of Nintendo history. This page continues the fantastic giveaway from the previous one, showcasing even more rare items signed by top game creators. We're looking at items 5 through 10 here. Highlights include a Mario tennis racket set signed by the Takahashi brothers from Camelot, known for their excellent Mario sports games. Sega's Toshihiro Nagoshi and Bin Mifune signed a bench coat featuring the logo for Virtua Striker 3, a classic soccer title. Hudson's Akira Sakuma and Takayuki Doi, creators of the beloved Momotaro series, offered a signed illustration and even some Talking Peach plushies. For fans of tactical RPGs, there's a signed Super Robot Wars R poster from producer Takanobu Terada at Banpresto. From Software, the masters behind games like Kingsfield and the later Dark Souls gave away a one-of-kind illustration of Katya from their GameCube title, Rune, signed by the designer Kojo. Finally, the legendary Ashura Ito, known for his manga and illustrations, provided a signed book and a custom-painted, signed 64 controller alongside a book related to Mario's Picross 2. These are some truly unique pieces of gaming history up for grabs. The deadline for applications is August 5, 2002, with winners announced in the next issue. This page continues the awesome giveaway campaign, showing off even more cool prizes from items 11 through 26. Sega kicks things off with several Super Monkey Ball goodies, including a 4-plush set of the II family, a set of keychain figures, and a strap and keychain combo featuring II. They're also offering a drawstring bag with II and Sonic illustrations. A great crossover! Next up, we see a slick UBI soft logo CD case, perfect for storing your tunes. Jordan provides a Hamster Club goods set, featuring plushies and keychains. Banpresto offers a special edition Tony Chopper figure from the One Piece anime, a fantastic collectible. From Software joins in with prizes for Rune fans, a cool logo glass, and a set of 3 ballpoint pens. Sega is back with Shining Soul items, like a pouch and screen cover set, and even a promotional pop-up display stand from game shops. For Harvest Moon enthusiasts, Victor Interactive Software is giving away an adorable cow plushie, essential for any farm. They also offer a reproduction promotion video for Sansara Naga, a retro gem. Sega wraps things up with colorful Puyo Puyo beanbags, Otajama, and a crazy taxi stationery set, including a pen case and memo pad. These are some seriously cool items for fans. A massive prize giveaway continues, with items from Sega's Virtua Striker 3, Metabots, and Tetris Worlds. Yujin's Fire Emblem figures and Sanko Shoji's Animal Crossing plushies are also offered. Editors are contributing personal items like a 64 Dream phone card, Pikachu plush, and Manga per Candela / bag sets. Other prizes include a Light Boy Advance accessory, signed Shikishi from Macross VFX, 2 voice actors, a rare GameCube-style bag, Banjo-Kazooie figures, and a Donkey Kong minicar. Finally, overseas Pokemon Stadium, an Armlight Advance, and a Star Fox illustration on a Nintendo notebook are included. A Japanese GameCube magazine preview highlights upcoming events. A hands-on trial for 4 anticipated titles, The Wind Waker, Star Fox Adventures, Mario Party 4, and Metroid Prime, will be held at 124 Toys R Us stores in Japan starting July 19th. The new GameCube memory card 251, with 251 blocks of save data, will be released at 2,000 yen, compared to the 1,400 yen memory card 59. The magazine is transitioning to a bi-monthly schedule, with issue 73 set for August 6th. The page includes a calendar of upcoming game and hardware releases for multiple Nintendo platforms, and various events scheduled for July and August 2002. Nintendo software sales, June 3rd to July 7th, saw Golden Sun, The Lost Age, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters topped the Game Boy Advance charts. Other popular titles included One Piece, Hamtaro, and Mega Man Battle Network 2. Reader anticipation is high for The Legend of Zelda, likely The Wind Waker, and Super Mario Sunshine for GameCube, alongside Star Fox Adventures and Mario Party 4. Hardware sales saw the PlayStation 2 dominate, with the Game Boy Advance a strong second. Golden Sun, The Lost Age was also highlighted as the summer's top RPG. Reader feedback in a survey prioritized lower prices / accessibility, more reader pages, and more reader interaction with Nintendo. This page is a full-page advertisement for the Game Boy Advance game, Choro Q Tank Great Battle. It highlights the strategic simulation gameplay featuring the iconic Choro Q tanks, with details on customization and missions. There are also promotions for a limited edition and a campaign. This page dives into the exciting summer gaming scene with the Nintendo Dream Monthly News Turbo. Headlining the features are major game events happening across Japan. First up, Toys R Us is hosting nationwide Super Smash Bros. Melee tournaments. It's a huge deal because all participants receive figure data for the game, and regional winners get invited to a national championship in Tokyo. They highlight that getting this data is usually quite difficult, so it's a rare chance. Toys R Us is also letting players get hands-on with demos of upcoming titles, specifically the E3 versions of The Legend of Zelda, looking like the awesome Wind Waker build, and Star Fox Adventures. This is noted as the very first opportunity for the general public in Japan to play these English E3 builds. Over on the Sega side, there's a nationwide Sega Game Party Tour happening at Itoyokado and Jusco stores. Sonic and II from Super Monkey Ball are the mascots, with demos including Phantasy Star Online and other fun activities like photo ops and character prizes. It seems like the summer of gaming was packed with cool events for Japanese fans. Several summer gaming events are highlighted across Japan. Sonic Party 2002 Natsu Matsuri, August 4th, at Sega World, offers Sonic Advance 2 Battle and Advance demos, plus activities. Junior West's Summer Stamp Rally, July 20th, August 18th, features Mario courses with prizes. Pokemon Festa 2002, the largest Pokemon event, includes a card tournament and game corners. The 8th Monster Koshien Tournament for Monster Rancher Advance 2 on GBA is also featured. Finally, Tsutaya's Game 100 Select campaign, July 20th, September 1st, showcases recommended GameCube and GBA titles, including popular franchises like Mario, Pokemon, and Resident Evil. This page is packed with some cool summer gaming news. First up, Mario is getting into soccer with a special J.League event on July 24th in Kyoto, where they're giving away copies of Mario Sunshine. There's a fun illustration of Mario kicking a ball in a uniform. Then, Nintendo is launching a huge ad campaign for Mario and other GameCube games all summer, hitting major spots in magazines. Gotta check everywhere! Also, that unique Panasonic Q, the GameCube with a DVD player, got a price drop on their online store. Guess they're trying to make it more accessible. Big news for horror fans. Capcom is distributing a trial version of the upcoming Resident Evil 0. You can snag it by pre-ordering Re:Zero or buying the excellent Resident Evil remake. It lets you get hands-on with Rebecca and Billy and try out the new zapping system before the game even comes out. And speaking of the Resident Evil remake, they're also promoting a special edition, possibly with unique costumes not in the retail release, and running a giveaway for 50 copies. There's also a quick mention of Atari's Rally 3 and GBA games, pushing polygonal graphics. Looks like a busy summer for the GameCube scene. Nintendo news includes Animal Crossing Plus merchandise from Media Factory, including a binder and letter set, releasing August 9th. Tries Trading is releasing new Animal Crossing Plus plushies and stickers on July 20th. Now Production is giving away a baseball data book for their GBA game, Gachinko Pro Yaku, with a September 30th deadline. The Hakata Gion Yamakasa Festival featured a giant Kirby float. Finally, the Kirby Right Back at Ya Anime's episode 41 preview hints at a looming threat to the Wispy Woods tree. This page features various gaming news. A Bloody Roar Extreme soundtrack release is announced for July 24th. The 40th Amusement Machine Show is scheduled for September 21st at Tokyo Big Sight, potentially revealing games for the Triforce arcade board, e.g., Virtua Striker, F-Zero AC. A Misuzu Link's News Dream comic section features Zelda-related news. Finally, Mario Club recommended soft highlights 4 GameCube games: Super Mario Sunshine, GameCube Powerful Pro Yaku 9, Disney Sports Soccer, and a Game Boy Advance card game, Versus Master Cross. Each game is praised for its unique features and gameplay. This page announces the results of the Animal Crossing Plus Village Pride Festa, a contest showcasing player creativity in the game. After over 10 hours of judging submissions, winners have been selected in various categories, highlighting how deeply Animal Crossing Plus has become integrated into players' lives. The judges were impressed by the passion and ingenuity shown. Featured here are the winners for My Room Pride and My Clothes Pride, with screenshots demonstrating their impressive village layouts, custom designs, and unique character appearances. Prizes included coveted items like Famicom furniture. The page captures the vibrant community and creative spirit of Animal Crossing players. This page continues showcasing the incredible creativity from the Animal Crossing Plus contest. On the left, we see the My Sign Pride winner, Satoshi Sekine from Tokyo, who recreated the iconic ending screen from Super Mario Bros. Using in-game signs. This truly demonstrates the dedication needed, as it requires using multiple design slots. The example designs shown, including a perfect pixel Mario, highlight the possibilities of custom art. On the right, the My Forest Love Pride winner, Satoshi Honda from Miyagi Prefecture, took craftsmanship to a whole new level. He built incredibly detailed miniature versions of the monochrome furniture series from the game, even showing a tiny bed next to a cigarette pack for scale. The judges were clearly impressed by the intricate detail and effort put into these real-world creations. Below these features are the extensive lists of players who received the Excellence Award and the special Nindori Award, totaling over 100 winners. These dedicated fans were recognized with cool prizes like Famicom furniture and special magazine-branded memory cards for their amazing contributions to the game community. This page is a massive splash page dedicated to the highly anticipated release of Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. The prominent headline screams, "Hot Summer! Hot GC!" thick, highlighting the game's tropical setting and its arrival on the GameCube. The main title is the iconic logo for Super Mario Sunshine. The background features vibrant artwork showcasing the game's setting, Delfino Plaza, with the ocean, a palm tree, and familiar characters like Piantas and Nokis. Below the title, there's text stating it's the long-awaited GC title of Mario's full-blown action game is finally released. It mentions running around the southern island with water and pump, flood, and offers tips for new sensation action and a complete follow-up of early game points. The bottom of the page announces the game's release date, with the phrase, "On sale same day." paired with a huge 40, which translates to 40 pages, total power special feature. This page is clearly the grand introduction to an extensive guide and coverage of Super Mario Sunshine, promising a deep dive into the game's mechanics, tips, and secrets right from launch day. It perfectly captures the excitement surrounding this major GameCube title. This page kicks off the strategy guide section for the highly anticipated Super Mario Sunshine. The headline clearly states, Strategy, right alongside the Japanese title for Super Mario Sunshine. The main visual shows Mario, Princess Peach, and even Toadsworth relaxing on a beach blanket under an umbrella, with FLUDD nearby, perfectly capturing the game's sunny, tropical vibe. Beyond the main walkthrough content, the page also mentions the announcement of the results for a publicity member recruitment project, and teases a special treasure interview collection, We Love Mario, featuring various people talking about their love for Mario, directing readers to page 52 for this exciting feature. The next page continues the deep dive into Super Mario Sunshine. The huge headline proudly declares, Super Mario Sunshine, thorough exploration from Delfino Plaza to Pinna Park, followed by 26 pages special strategy guide. It kicks off by setting the scene. Mario, Peach, and Toadsworth are heading to a southern island for vacation, but things quickly go wrong after seeing a strange figure in a video broadcast from Delfino Island. Images show the trio on their journey and a suspicious shadowy outline that clearly resembles Mario on a building, which the text points out. The guide then introduces key elements like FLUDD, described as the great activity of the pump, a new action that adds exciting mechanics beyond Mario's usual jumps. It also features Yoshi, explaining he's a rideable partner who can perform juice attacks after eating fruit, though, interestingly, Yoshi is weak to water, meaning you can't use FLUDD while riding him. A small game information box lists the title, system, Nintendo GameCube, developer, release date, price, genre, player count, and memory card blocks required. The text also mentions the guide will cover how to find shines, secrets, and provide thorough explanations for each stage, urging players to help Mario take back the sun. This page perfectly introduces the game's premise and core gameplay additions. This page continues the Super Mario Sunshine coverage, focusing on the initial arrival on Delfino Island and the strange situation. The island is inexplicably covered in graffiti. At the airport, a massive graffiti mark yields a giant piranha plant when sprayed with water from the newly introduced FLUDD. Mario defeats the monster, but in a shocking turn, he is arrested, mistaken for the graffiti culprit himself. The page highlights FLUDD, a high-performance pump created by Professor E. Gadd from Luigi's Mansion, which can even talk. Beyond the main plot point, several key characters are introduced. We see Princess Peach sporting a summery outfit, her loyal butler Toadsworth, and her numerous toad attendants. We're also introduced to the friendly inhabitants of Delfino Island, the bright and cheerful Monty tribe, and the shy Nokis tribe. Finally, the page shows the mysterious figure responsible for the graffiti, a shadow doppelganger of Mario himself, setting up the core mystery of the game. This page dives into the core gameplay loop of Super Mario Sunshine, explaining how players progress and collect the vital shine sprites. The main objective is to clean up Delfino Island and gather these powerful objects. The primary method for earning shine sprites is by clearing the various stories or episodes within each of the game's stages. Starting in Delfino Plaza, the hub world, players can access different levels by finding and activating specific markers, like the colorful M graffiti shown here. Each level, such as Bianco Hills and Rico Harbor, two of the initial areas highlighted on the map, has multiple stories to complete. Clearing a story awards Mario a shine sprite and automatically returns him to Delfino Plaza. The page emphasizes that Delfino Plaza is a dynamic hub. As you collect more shine sprites, the plaza itself will change, revealing new areas, events, and pathways to other levels or challenges. This encourages players to explore the hub world between tackling levels. Screenshots show the level select screen, the graffiti entrances, and the vibrant areas of Bianco Hills and Rico Harbor. It's a clear system designed to guide players through the island's unfolding mystery and cleanup operation. This page expands on collecting shine sprites in Super Mario Sunshine by highlighting alternative methods beyond clearing story missions. Players can earn shines by gathering different types of coins. Collecting 100 standard yellow coins in any main stage awards a shine, though the count resets if you leave. Exchanging 10 blue coins at the boat shed in Delfino Plaza gets you another, and finding all 8 red coins within a single attempt on any stage also yields a shine. Blue coins are scattered throughout the world and often appear after cleaning special graffiti like the M-shaped marks seen in the previous page, or distinctive X marks. The page also emphasizes that Delfino Plaza itself holds numerous shines. These aren't tied to stories, but are obtained through unique events, minigames, puzzles, or interacting with the environment after specific actions, like cleaning a tower shown in a screenshot. New plaza shines become available as you progress through the main story, so regular exploration is key. Additionally, the page briefly touches on other useful items like water bottles, which refill your flood pack's water supply, and the classic 1-up mushrooms for extra lives. While these items don't directly lead to getting shines, they are crucial for survival and successful gameplay, with 1-up mushrooms even reappearing over time. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page is a guide to mastering Mario's essential jump techniques in Super Mario 64. It breaks down the different types of jumps and explains when and why you should use them, showing screenshots of Mario in action. It covers the standard jump, crucial for basic movement and attacking enemies, and the spin jump, which works even on water and lets you stay airborne for a bit. The hip drop is shown as a way to smash objects like wooden boxes or land safely from heights. For vertical boosts, there's the side somersault for jumping high with just a short run-up, and the triple jump, which requires a bit more space to build speed, but lets Mario reach impressive heights. The wall kick is highlighted as a way to climb vertical surfaces indefinitely. Finally, it touches on an advanced challenge technique, the forbidden enemy stomp jump, showing how you can repeatedly bounce off foes to gain elevation, useful for reaching high places without needing a run-up. It's a great overview of the foundational acrobatics needed to navigate the game's world. Super Mario Sunshine's flood device is central to gameplay. Players learn basic controls, switching nozzles with X and spraying with R. Water is a limited resource, and players can carry 2 nozzles. The normal nozzle is crucial for cleaning, stunning enemies, and moving objects. Techniques like chasing enemies with light sprays, precise aiming with Mario's perspective, and wider area coverage with sprinkler or spin jump techniques are detailed. Advanced techniques, like a backflip spray dodge, are also covered. This page dives deeper into Super Mario Sunshine's mechanics, starting with the hover nozzle. It explains that this nozzle lets Mario float while spraying, allowing for horizontal movement and covering distances that regular jumps can't manage. Next up is Yoshi, Mario's trusty partner. Riding Yoshi unlocks special actions. By eating enemies or fruit, Yoshi can spit out juice, which has different effects depending on what he consumed. The images show Yoshi eating a pineapple and spitting juice, and another where Yoshi is in a village area. There's also a mention of using the hip drop while on Yoshi. The page then introduces 2 more nozzles found later in the adventure. The rocket nozzle allows Mario to charge up and blast high into the air, reaching places previously inaccessible. The turbo nozzle provides high-speed movement both on land and water, making it great for crossing large areas quickly. Finally, there's a section on mastering the camera controls, essential for making the adventure easier. It covers Mario's perspective for precise spraying, and using the crease stick for free camera movement to look around. It also shows how the camera automatically adjusts when Mario goes behind obstacles, creating a cutout view to keep him visible. This detailed look at Flood's other nozzles and Yoshi's abilities highlights the variety of gameplay Super Mario Sunshine offers beyond just cleaning. Delfino Plaza in Super Mario Sunshine is the central hub. Collecting shine sprites and cleaning graffiti unlocks areas. A mysterious man, a wooden box game, and part-time jobs are among the activities. Manholes lead to hidden underground areas, and a burning man needs rescuing. The plaza's boathouse and filth tower lead to other locations, like Rico Harbor and Bianco Hills. A closed building contains blue coins, but is initially inaccessible, adding to the mystery. The plaza evolves as the player progresses, offering a variety of challenges and secrets. This page dives into the early events of Super Mario Sunshine in Delfino Plaza. It highlights the appearance of the mysterious Shadow Mario after you clean up some graffiti. You learn that you need to chase and spray him with F.L.U.D.D. to stop him. The page also covers the first major challenge, defeating the giant piranha plant that emerges from the ground. It suggests using Mario's aiming mode for an easier shot, and notes that staying in the water source provides unlimited water. After defeating the plant, a giant statue appears. Shadow Mario then reappears and marks the statue with his signature, M, which, when sprayed with water, opens up the path to the game's first real world, Bianco Hills. The page details these crucial first steps in the adventure, focusing on the initial encounters and how to progress. This page continues the guide to obtaining shine sprites in Delfino Plaza in Super Mario Sunshine. It details how to get a shine by cleaning a dirty bell located on a high tower in the southwest part of the town. The process involves first climbing a building opposite the tower using techniques like the spin jump, then making your way to the top of the tall tower itself. From there, you need to use a hover jump with FL.UDD's hover nozzle to reach the platform with the bell. Cleaning the bell reveals a shine sprite inside the tower. To collect this shine, a manhole appears on a nearby rooftop, which leads you underground. The guide highlights a special technique. Exiting a manhole results in a very high jump, often allowing you to grab the shine immediately upon surfacing beneath it. This powerful jump from manholes is also presented as a challenge technique for reaching other high areas in Delfino Plaza. Finally, the page mentions that the underground areas accessed via manholes are worth exploring, as they contain hidden coins and other collectibles. You can confirm what you found by the on-screen display and sound cues. This guide details 3 more ways to find shine sprites in Super Mario Sunshine's Delfino Plaza. First, a timed hip drop challenge involves smashing wooden crates for a shine. Second, a character on a rooftop throws you to a hidden shine-containing building. Collect coins from manhole exits for extra throws. Finally, collecting 3 shines triggers a boss fight. Spray graffiti on the boathouse with FLUDD to summon a giant piranha plant. Defeating it opens a portal to Rico Harbor. The next page continues the Super Mario Sunshine Guide, focusing on uncovering blue coins scattered throughout Delfino Plaza. It details several ways to find these elusive collectibles. You can earn them by helping the locals with tasks like gathering specific fruits. Hidden coins are also found by exploring unusual access points, such as sneaking into a house through a seaside window, or delving into the underground network accessed via manholes. The guide also reveals that spraying water on interactive objects like open windows or wanted posters can make blue coins appear. One notable method involves putting out a character who's literally on fire. Speaking to him after extinguishing the flames yields a coin reward. This page provides essential tips for players aiming for 100% completion. This page continues the Super Mario Sunshine Guide for Delfino Plaza, delving into some of its more mysterious elements. It highlights shines that are visible but seemingly out of reach, such as one seen inside the southwest bell tower where the windows are sealed shut, prompting players to figure out how to get inside. The guide also covers the southeast bell tower, explaining that cleaning it reveals a shine, but it appears in a very high position that might require advanced moves learned later in the game to collect. A section is dedicated to unerasable graffiti, found in places like rooftops and on an island's pipe structure, noting that standard water sprays won't remove it, and speculating if something else is needed. Finally, the guide mentions a small detail. Spraying water on the island's inhabitants can elicit various reactions, even showing that you can spray Princess Peach for a unique response. This page continues the Super Mario Sunshine Guide, transporting us to the beautiful Bianco Hills. The guide explains that Mario arrives here following the mysterious shadow from Delfino Plaza, finding it to be a peaceful area filled with green hills, windmills, and water wheels, yet sadly also covered in the same goop. The first objective detailed is clearing the path to the Great Windmill by washing away the goop. The guide notes you can talk to locals who mentioned seeing a fake Mario recently, confirming the culprit's presence. A helpful tip is shown. Spraying water on certain paths lets you slide quickly across them, which is a cool way to get around. The guide then covers crossing a river using a thrilling rope. Jumping on the rope lets you bounce your way across to the other side. There's even a higher rope you can reach by jumping from below the lower one, adding a bit of vertical challenge. Lastly, the page gives some handy tips. Spraying water on pink flowers makes them give off a melody and release coins, but beware, as some might be enemies. You can also get more coins from specific enemies by spraying them into a wall rather than just stomping them. This page delves deeper into the challenges in Bianco Hills in Super Mario Sunshine, focusing on dealing with the pervasive goop and the enemies it spawns. It first introduces small, goop-based enemies that are bothersome on the narrow paths, recommending Mario spray them away or stomp them. Next, the guide focuses on confronting the source of much of the goop in the area, The giant piranha plant. It warns about the goop balls the plant spits out, suggesting Mario use a rope over the water to reach a safe platform. From this vantage point, the strategy is clear. Spray flooded directly into the giant piranha plant's open mouth to defeat it safely and clean up the area. Finally, a handy challenge technique is showcased. It describes a clever method near the large water wheel where Mario can use a rope to spin around with FLUDD, building momentum to launch himself high over a wall, allowing for quick traversal past an obstacle. It's a neat trick for speed and exploration. This page continues the guide for Super Mario Sunshine's Bianco Hills, detailing Story 2, the appearance and defeat of the giant piranha plant, known as Boss Pacoon, atop the windmill. The objective is to ascend the windmill to confront this large enemy, whose goop has covered the area. The guide explains how to navigate the spiral path up the windmill, which is broken by ditches requiring careful jumps and hover techniques. It also warns about goop balls the Boss Pacoon spits down. To reach the very top, players need to ride the moving footing attached to the windmill blades. Once at the summit, the battle against the Boss Pacoon begins, culminating in earning a Shine Sprite upon its defeat. The page also briefly mentions the smaller piranha plants encountered on the way, demonstrating how to defeat them by spraying them with water. The next page continues the guide for Super Mario Sunshine, detailing the boss fight against the giant piranha plant, Boss Pacoon, inside the windmill in Bianco Hills. After falling through the roof, the real battle begins. The guide explains that the key to defeating this massive plant is to make it drink water. Boss Pacoon will attack by spitting out damaging goop and enemies from its mouth. Players must watch for when its mouth is open and spray water directly into it. After consuming enough water, Boss Pacoon will become bloated and fall over, presenting an opportunity. While it's down, jump onto its swollen belly and perform a hip drop attack. Repeating this process 3 times will defeat the boss, causing it to explode and reveal a Shine Sprite. A challenge technique section on the page highlights how to use the small enemies on the water surface, the sweet sake, water spiders, to perform high jumps. Jumping on these enemies propels Mario high into the air, which can be used as a shortcut to reach certain areas, or the windmill slope. Spraying the water spiders with FLUDD stops them temporarily. The page is illustrated with screenshots showing Mario facing Boss Pacoon, the plant spitting goop, Boss Pacoon falling over, and Mario performing the hip drop on its belly, as well as images demonstrating the water spider jump technique. This provides a clear visual walkthrough of the boss fight strategy, and a helpful navigation tip for the area. This page of the Super Mario Sunshine Guide dives into collecting blue coins in Bianco Hills, focusing on those not tied to graffiti. It starts by explaining how to get a blue coin by erasing 2 linked X marks drawn across a moat. You need to find both locations, one near the watermill side and the other closer to the house. The trick is that erasing one X makes the other appear, and you must erase both quickly before the first one reappears to get the blue coin. The guide gives tips on reaching the top of the moat walls, using spin jumps, hovering, or well-timed wall kicks. Another section details finding a blue coin hidden underwater near the watermill. You're told to look for a group of 4 regular coins which act as a marker. Dive down in the shallow water near these coins by pressing the B button to grab the hidden blue coin. The page also briefly mentions obtaining blue coins by erasing X marks found inside an enclosure and on an outer wall, indicating there are more of these hidden around Bianco Hills. Finally, a smaller section touches upon the semi-transparent red and black boxes scattered throughout the game. It hints that these boxes are crucial for changing FLUDD's nozzle, containing items like the turbo nozzle and rocket nozzle, which enable new abilities like speed boosting or high jumping, and are sometimes required to pass obstacles or become temporarily invisible. This page continues the Super Mario Sunshine Guide for Bianco Hills, focusing on secrets and alternative paths beyond the main story objectives. It highlights exploring areas like the windmills and a mysterious locked door. One path described involves reaching a high house by using a rope and platforms over the water, then traversing platforms attached to the base of the large windmills. By spraying water on the windmill blades, you can make the platforms rotate, allowing you to jump across them and reach the highest rooftop for a view of Corona Mountain. The guide also points out a suspicious barred door located on a cliff face near the pond. It mentions reaching this area via a rope and platforms across the water. Talking to the character by the door reveals it's locked due to danger, hinting at a connection to Corona Mountain. Additionally, the page details finding coins by spraying water on house doors, and the blades of small windmills scattered around Bianco Hills. A particular puzzle is highlighted. Coins appear on top of the small windmills, which are in high places, suggesting a specific flood nozzle might be required to collect them. Screenshots throughout show Mario navigating these areas and interacting with the environment. This page jumps into the bustling Rico Harbor in Super Mario Sunshine, a stark contrast to the village feel of Bianco Hills. It's introduced as Delfino Plaza's largest port town and a truly athletic stage, filled with giant cranes, ships, and towering steel frames to climb. The focus here is on the first episode, titled "Beautiful Port is Defiled with Muck. Defeat the Boss Gooper Blooper." The harbor is covered in thick black muck, flowing from large containers, polluting the sea. The source of this mess is the Boss Gooper Blooper hiding inside one of the containers. The guide details how to reach the boss, starting by heading towards a ship whose deck is also covered in muck. You'll need to navigate through the goo and deal with smaller Gooper Bloopers. The path involves climbing onto and through wire mesh on the ship, ultimately leading you to a caged area where the boss resides. Screenshots show Mario spraying water on the muck and the smaller Gooper Bloopers on the ship's deck and climbing the mesh. The section on fighting the Gooper Blooper boss explains the strategy. Spray it with water to make it dizzy and temporarily stop its movement. Then, stomp on it while it's down to flatten it, allowing you to safely deliver damage. Screenshots clearly demonstrate Mario using flood spray and then stomping on the defeated enemy. This page sets up Rico Harbor as a challenging environment focused on platforming and boss encounters. This page delves deeper into the strategic nuances of Rico Harbor in Super Mario Sunshine, moving beyond the initial Gooper Blooper boss fight. It starts by guiding players through cleaning up the polluted material storage area, which is swarming with smaller Gooper Bloopers that need to be dealt with while clearing the muck. The guide then focuses on navigating the complex environment, detailing how to ascend to a high platform next to the storage area by utilizing the level's prominent features like cranes and climbable nets. It emphasizes the importance of movement skills in this vertical stage. A key section introduces advanced techniques for reaching elevated areas, specifically the side somersault wall kick hover. This combination of moves is presented as essential for accessing higher platforms and mastering vertical traversal throughout Rico Harbor and potentially other levels. Finally, the page highlights a practical tip for efficient movement: finding and using the 5 hidden manholes scattered across the harbor. These manholes connect to an underground pipe system, allowing Mario to quickly travel between different areas, a crucial shortcut for exploration and missions. This page continues the guide for Rico Harbor in Super Mario Sunshine, focusing on the level's main boss, the giant Gooper Blooper. It shows how the boss emerges from the containers after you pull on the tentacles sticking out. The main strategy involves repeatedly pulling off the boss's limbs. First, you need to dodge its leg attacks, which it does after you spray water on its face. Then jump on the leg when it's vulnerable, grab it, and pull back to tear it off. You do this for all 4 legs. Once the legs are gone, the guide instructs you to grab and pull off its mouth. Just when you think it's over, the Gooper Blooper revives, spews ink, and the fight repeats. You have to pull off the 4 legs and the mouth again. Successfully defeating it this second time sends the boss flying into the sky, and a shine sprite appears from the sea. Finally, there's a small tip highlighting a fruits tank in the level. Hip dropping on the small protrusion on the side of this tank will cause fruit and coins to pop out, a nice little bonus to find while exploring. The next page dives back into Super Mario Sunshine's Rico Harbor, focusing on the thrilling squid surfing challenge. This is how you grab 2 more shine sprites in this area. The goal is to race on a squid-like vehicle and finish fast. First up, to get the first shine, you need to beat the initial race in under 45 seconds. The guide offers 6 key tips. Stick to the center of the track to avoid obstacles. Weave through the buoys. Master cornering by using the in beta technique, presumably tight turns. Stay straight on rotating platforms. Watch out for obstacles right after corners, and handle the final hairpin turns carefully, avoiding hitting the walls. The difficulty of the turns can vary depending on which color squid you pick, with red being fastest but hardest to control, green easiest to turn but slower, and yellow in the middle. For the second shine, you need to really push your speed and finish in under 30 seconds. This requires using a major shortcut shown on the page. The shortcut involves taking a tight line around a specific corner and then jumping over a wall at the final hairpin turns. It's all about timing and precision to cut those crucial seconds. Finally, the page shows you can also collect coins during the race, especially airborne ones, by timing your jumps while riding the squid. It's a nice bonus to grab while you're mastering the course. This page guides you through finding more hidden blue coins in Ricco Harbor, building on the previous tips for this busy port level. First up, let's grab 3 easy Quadamus coins. One is found right at the starting area, atop the warehouse. In Episode 2, you can easily hop onto the large wooden box next to the warehouse, and then jump onto the roof to spray away the shim graffiti and claim the blue coin. Next, a blue coin appears on a yellow submarine, submerged near the center of the port. You'll need to use the platform activated by spraying the nearby windmill to reach a crane's mooring post, which lets you get closer to the submarine. Finally, the page details how to reach a blue coin high up on the scaffolding structure above the port. Starting from an elevated building's rooftop, you'll need to carefully traverse beams, jump across gaps using your hover nozzle, navigate wire nets, and spin windmills to progress. Be wary of goopers and the spinning tornado-like enemies along the way. Keep moving, and eventually, you'll reach the platform holding the coveted blue coin. The next page dives deeper into exploring Ricco Harbor, highlighting hidden areas and traversal techniques. It starts by detailing how to reach the absolute peak of the complex scaffolding structure. Following the path described previously across the nets, you'll encounter a special trampoline marked with a spring-like pattern. Using this trampoline propels you high up onto the final section of scaffolding, offering a fantastic view, though it warns those afraid of heights. The page then shifts focus to the helipad area. It shows how to reach the helipad itself by jumping from a nearby rock next to a fruit tank and using your hover nozzle. Once on the helipad, you can ground pound a specific spot to hang underneath. More interestingly, it explains how to reach various floating aerial platforms from the helipad by strategically falling and then hovering, or using a spin jump followed by the hover nozzle. Reaching these high platforms provides a unique perspective of the harbor below and suggests further exploration using these techniques. This page is all about verticality and uncovering the secrets hidden high above the port. This page celebrates the enduring appeal of Mario with a look at a passionate fans collection. Featuring the bold statement, "We love Mario." It showcases 16 unique Mario figures owned by Moto Hideyasu. From a plush doll drumming on a Super Mario World-themed drum, to figures representing classic poses like flying and golfing, the collection highlights the many forms Mario has taken over the years. The text explains that this is only a small portion of Moto Hideyasu's collection, and encourages readers to appreciate the various expressions of the iconic hero. It also teases upcoming content, announcing that the following pages will feature 17 Mario enthusiasts sharing their personal memories with the character. The page concludes by suggesting readers create their own lasting memories with Mario this summer, specifically mentioning Super Mario Sunshine. This page continues showcasing the impressive Mario collection, picking up right where the last page left off, with figures numbered number 17 through number 32. It's a fantastic display of different Mario memorabilia, featuring everything from classic poses and plush figures to more unique items like Santa Mario, figures riding carts, and even a giant Mario holding a Super Mario World-themed alarm clock. It really highlights the sheer variety of collectibles out there for fans. Down below, we get a fascinating look at the top-selling Mario games in Japan as of March 2002. It's no shocker to see the original Super Mario Bros. On the Famicom sitting comfortably at number 1, a true titan of the industry. The list features a mix of beloved titles across various Nintendo consoles, including Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, and games from the Game Boy and Nintendo 64 era. It's a solid reminder of just how dominant Mario has been in the Japanese market for decades. This article begins a series celebrating Mario, featuring personal anecdotes. Toru Hashimoto, a Nintendo employee since after the Famicom launch, recalls the immense popularity of Super Mario Bros. Music, even possessing a cassette with an illustration by Koji Kondo. Kenichi Shinjo, a game writer, fondly remembers mastering Super Mario Bros. And World, meeting Shigeru Miyamoto, and even writing a strategy guide for Super Mario 64. He notes a surprising connection between the game's 3D environments and his fear of heights. Finally, Mineko Okamura from Sega highlights Mario's ability to bring joy, a theme she also found in her work on Space Channel 5. The article showcases how Mario's influence extends across various companies and personal experiences. Quote, "This page features the Mario Art Museum showcasing artwork number 1, titled Viva Mario Sunshine by Ashura Ito. The vibrant illustration depicts Mario and Peach enjoying a sunny beach scene, with Mario relaxing and playing a ukulele, while Peach holds a pineapple drink. Below the artwork is a profile for Mario fan #04, Ashura Ito, age 52. Identified as a manga artist, game developer, musician, and a leopard print artist. He shares his long history with Mario, humorously calling the series a mustachioed father who stole time from study and work over 20 years. He identifies Super Mario Bros. On Famicom as a standout game, recalling getting 99 lives on the stairs, and mentions early arcade games like Pong, Galaxian, and Invader, causing him to be late for work. He sees Super Mario Bros. As a culmination and acknowledges Shigeru Miyamoto's genius. A small note mentions he has also drawn comics for Mother 2. This page continues the We Love Mario feature, showcasing more fans sharing their cherished memories. We hear from 4 more individuals: Toshihiro Nagoshi, developer of Super Monkey Ball and F-Zero; Hayanon, a manga artist; Yoichi Yamamoto, from the Kirby anime production company Warp Star and Pokemon Snap; and Yuki Katase, a model and game writer. Each fan recounts their personal connection to the Mushroom Kingdom. Nagoshi's journey began when his girlfriend bought him a Famicom with Super Mario Bros., teaching him that games could have a definitive end, and intertwining the series with his personal memories. Hayanon, who grew up on a remote island, was amazed to find Mario there, and names the character movement in 64 Mario, likely Super Mario 64, as her most memorable aspect, also praising the visuals of Mario Sunshine. Yamamoto hails Yoshi's Island as the heart of the game for its unique manga-style graphics, contrasting it with the prevailing CG of the time, like Donkey Kong Country, and was so engrossed he nearly 100% completed it, only to have his child find a secret he missed. Finally, Katase finds simple joy in watching Mario move, particularly enjoying his Tanuki and Fox forms, and reminisces about fighting with her brother over the infinite one-up trick, noting that while Mario is solo, it's fun when others watch. These diverse perspectives highlight the wide-reaching impact of the Mario series. This page features the Mario Art Museum, showcasing work number 2 by illustrator Tsuyoshi Kusano, titled Thank You Shigeru Miyamoto and We Love Nintendo. The artwork is a graphic illustration featuring abstract, game-like structures, arrows, and silhouetted figures interacting with elements resembling pipes, question blocks, and controllers, all rendered in blue, red, and white. The page also includes Mario Fan #08, highlighting the same Tsuyoshi Kusano, aged 28. He is an illustrator who worked on titles like Doshin the Giant. Kusano shares his lifelong passion for Nintendo, which began with a breakout-style game in kindergarten. He feels completely sucked in and describes Nintendo as a trustworthy brand, almost like a belief system. Of the series, he finds Mario Bros. The most memorable due to its fun multiplayer aspect. He regards Shigeru Miyamoto as one of the people who most influenced his personality formation as a child, expressing deep respect. Photos show his workspace adorned with a Nintendo Entertainment Shop sign and an autograph from Mr. Miyamoto. This page continues the We Love Mario feature, presenting more fans sharing their cherished memories and thoughts about the iconic plumber. First up is Yuji Naka, aged 37, the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog and president of Sonic Team. He reflects on the rivalry between Mario and Sonic, stating that he aimed to create a character who could stand alongside Mario rather than just oppose him. He expresses deep respect for Shigeru Miyamoto, calling Mario's games divinely made, and shares his challenging experiences with the underwater levels, particularly in the original Super Mario Bros. He also loves games featuring the sea. Next is Kazunari Yonemitsu, also 37, a game developer known for titles like Puyo Puyo. He discusses the difference between playing Mario as a fan and analyzing it as a developer. He was particularly impressed by the overwhelming quality of Super Mario 64 upon its release, which made him contemplate his own development path. Voice actress Asami Sanada is featured next, holding a gold Mario statue. She shares her enjoyment of the games. Finally, 19-year-old idol and game enthusiast Yukari Fukui talks about growing up playing Mario with her brother, starting with the original Super Mario Bros. She has played various Mario games across different consoles, but has a special fondness for Tail Mario from Super Mario World. She admits to repeatedly playing her favorite stages, like Stage 4, which she now finds a bit amusing in retrospect. This page features artwork number 3 in the Mario Art Museum series, titled Ride on Yoshi, by artist Hidemasa Moto. The painting depicts Mario riding Yoshi, surrounded by various colored toads, in a bright tropical setting complete with palm trees, waves, and elements from Super Mario Sunshine like a flood-style device and enemies. Hida Masamoto, aged 33, is also highlighted as Mario fan number 13. He explains that his serious dedication to Mario games is a recent development, stemming from playing Mario Tennis 64 and rediscovering his fondness for Yoshi, which then opened his eyes to how wonderful all the supporting characters are. He reflects that before this, he was so absorbed in the gameplay he might have missed the character's appeal. He notes that Super Mario Sunshine was the first Mario game release he excitedly anticipated since becoming a true fan. The page includes a photo of him showcasing his Mario merchandise collection and a picture of a distinct Mario sofa. This page features passionate Mario fans sharing their memories. The Takahashi brothers, Hiroyuki and Hidego, leading Camelot, Mario Golf/Tennis, recall being inspired by the Super Mario Bros. Commercial and their shared gaming experiences, with Hidego boasting of beating the game first. Mitsuharu Misawa, president of Pro Wrestling Noah, emphasizes the skill and enjoyment of action games like Mario, recalling his first solo purchase of Super Mario Bros. And playing with his son. Masakura Inami, an artist, shares his love for Donkey Kong and Mario, highlighting the lasting childhood excitement and how a created t-shirt inspired him to play again, pre-ordering Mario Sunshine. This page is all about the fans. Titled, "We Love Mario," readers talk about their expectations for Mario Sunshine. It features quotes from readers across Japan, sharing their excitement and predictions for the upcoming game. Fans are buzzing with anticipation, with some having already pre-ordered and counting down the days. They're looking forward to riding Yoshi again after a long time, and are curious about classic elements like Bowser being the boss and Luigi's role. Many comment on the visual style, being moved by the graphics of the sky and clouds, and noting Peach's new look with a ponytail and no sleeves. There are humorous takes too, like wanting a Toad Ranger team, or commenting on Mario's nice middle-aged mustache. Some see the game as a welcome successor, even mentioning the cancelled Mario 642. It's clear everyone is ready for Mario Sunshine to bring the fun, and maybe even cause a little sleep deprivation. This page is all about a fantastic real-world event put on by the magazine and its readers to celebrate Super Mario Sunshine. Titled "The Super Mario Sunshine Promotion Team Planning Finally Executed and the Balloon Mail Operation," this project took place on July 7, 2002, at the Tamagawa Riverbank. The main idea was simple but brilliant. Let's send the charm of Super Mario Sunshine all across Japan. About 35 readers teamed up with the magazine's editorial staff for this unique event. They wrote personal messages about their excitement for the game on letters, attached them to balloons, and released around 200 of them into the sky. They even used special, environmentally friendly balloons. The hope was that people who found the balloons would send back a reply postcard, and those who did would be entered to win a GameCube and a copy of Mario Sunshine. Participants wore cool matching red t-shirts featuring the magazine's mascot and the game's release date, July 19th, on the back. The photos show everyone gathered, inflating balloons, shouting, "3, 2, 1, Mario!" and excitedly watching the balloons float away towards the mountains. Even the manga artist Hayanan and the magazine's deputy editor-in-chief were there, working hard to get all the balloons ready. It's clear from the pictures that everyone had a great time connecting over their shared love for Mario and anticipating the upcoming release. What a cool way to promote a game and interact with the fans. This page continues the coverage of the incredible Super Mario Sunshine promotion event held at the Tamagawa River. Beyond just launching balloons, the event featured a Tamagawa Mario Music Corps, where participants brought instruments like bass guitars, taiko drums, and electronic drums to perform music and march along the riverbank, spreading the word about the upcoming game. A really cool part was the Mario Human Characters activity, where groups of people arranged themselves to form giant letters spelling out Mario and an acrobatic M. The magazine expresses deep gratitude to the many fans who participated, highlighting how touched the staff were by people traveling from far away to join the fun, despite the event being planned on relatively short notice. It's clear everyone had a blast, and the magazine hopes to hold similar events in the future. The page is packed with photos showing the vibrant atmosphere. You can see cosplayers dressed as Mario, Peach, Waluigi, even referencing his appearance in Mario Tennis 64, and Daisy walking together, enjoying a mushroom barbecue, a fitting tribute to Mario, and participants signing messages on a large banner. It was a fantastic gathering of fans, celebrating their shared love for Mario, and the excitement for Super Mario Sunshine. This page dives into the exciting upcoming release of Star Fox Adventures on the Nintendo GameCube, anticipated before autumn, specifically in September. This is a big departure for the series, shifting genre to an action-adventure game where Fox McCloud explores a dinosaur planet, using the versatile crystal staff as his primary weapon, capable of shockwaves and projectile attacks. The article reveals that players will also get to control the mysterious new character, Crystal, at certain points, and classic R-Wing shooting segments will still be included. The developers are promising an immense volume of gameplay. Screenshots show a mysterious gauge with icons suggesting gameplay mechanics involving Tricky, a dinosaur prince who appears in the game. New event scenes hint at a significant story, even though details are still under wraps. Familiar faces like Slippy, Rob, Peppy, and General Pepper are featured, but the notable absence of Falco in the character lineup prompts discussion. However, fans are reassured that Falco will play a role in the game's comic segments. The magazine highlights that Nintendo is maintaining a monthly release schedule for the GameCube, and September is Star Fox's turn. This page features a striking illustration for Star Fox, specifically highlighting Falco with the subtitle, "Farewell, my beloved Falco." Given the previous page's discussion about Falco's limited role in Star Fox adventures, appearing primarily in comic segments, this seems to be a piece related to those comics, or a poignant moment in the game's narrative. The artwork is set against a deep space backdrop with swirling nebulae, fitting for the series' space opera theme. The Star Fox title is prominently displayed in its iconic yellow and green futuristic font. The illustration is credited to Shigehisa Nake and carries a 2002 Nintendo copyright, further cementing its connection to the GameCube title. It's a simple, yet evocative image that likely ties into the ongoing coverage of Star Fox adventures within the magazine. This page takes a look at the state of the Star Fox team 4 years after a major, devastating battle, which feels like it's referencing their fight against Kamalandros. With peace returning to the Lilat system, the team isn't taking on as many massive missions, and Fox McCloud, now 22 years old, is described as steadily improving his skills as the team leader. The page also highlights Slippy Toad, also 22, who serves as the team's mechanic. Despite financial troubles leading to the aging of their mothership, the Great Fox, Slippy's dedicated maintenance, is the only thing keeping the ship in some semblance of its original form. The page features character illustrations for Fox and Slippy, alongside a drawing of a distressed ape character, likely General Pepper, and a worn-looking illustration of the Great Fox itself. This page continues the look at the Star Fox team, about 4 years after the events of the devastating battle mentioned previously. We see illustrations of Falco Lombardi, age 23, and Peppy Hare, 45, along with the robot Rob 64 and the mothership, the Great Fox. The text describes Falco as still struggling with cooperation, and often clashing with Fox. Peppy, the team's oldest and most experienced member, is noted as having abundant knowledge. Yet he seems to be the only one who hasn't quite picked up on the subtle relationship dynamics between Fox and Falco. Rob 64 is shown here holding a container, ready to support the team. The Great Fox, still their base of operations, is also depicted, reflecting the previous page's mention of its age. This page shows the Star Fox team in what starts as a moment of intense competition. We see Fox McCloud and Falco Lombardi locked in a heated battle, not in space, but playing a video game on a handheld device, likely in the cockpit of the Great Fox. Their rivalry is evident, with both showing frustration and determination. Fox celebrates victoriously, exclaiming, "All right, I win!" Falco, clearly unhappy with the outcome, challenges him to settle things. "Next time, let's settle it in actual combat." Their playful rivalry is abruptly interrupted by a sudden SOS message flashing on their screens. Distressed characters appear on the displays. First, what looks like Cat, pleading, "SOS, Falco, can you hear me?" Then, a cat character is shown, looking terrified and stating, "They are targeting us. If things stay like this, we'll be defeated," she desperately calls out. "Please, Falco, The mood instantly shifts from leisure to emergency. Fox and Falco, snapping out of their game, react with concern and urgency. Fox quickly directs Rob 64 to find the source of the distress signal, indicating a new mission is about to begin, pulling the team back into action. This page continues the Star Fox team's reaction to the SOS call from the previous page. Inside the Great Fox, Rob64 reports that the distress signal is believed to be coming from planet Titania. Amidst this unfolding crisis, Falco Lombardi attempts to make a hasty exit, declaring to Fox McCloud that he's taking a vacation. Fox is instantly alerted, demanding Falco wait. The scene shifts to space, showing the Great Fox approaching the troubled area, where a lone Arwing, presumably the source of the sauce, is visible near a cosmic anomaly or nebula. Back on the bridge, the team discusses the situation. Slippy Toad speculates that the caller might be an old bad friend of Falco's, perhaps on the run for something like speeding. However, Slippy quickly doubts his own theory. Fox, looking concerned, observes that the distress signal truly seemed like someone in need of help. Without hesitation, Fox issues the command to Rob64. Set course for Titania. This confirms the team is heading straight into danger to investigate the mysterious SOS call. This page immediately takes us to planet Titania, as the title confirms where the Star Fox team was heading. We see the Great Fox, or another ship, arriving at the planet. The main action on Titania seems intense. A massive, terrifying green monster dominates the scene, looking like something straight out of a nightmare. We see two purple cat-like characters, who are clearly distressed. One looks startled, while the other is gripping a weapon tightly, looking scared and perhaps trying to defend themselves. Another panel shows a blue cat-like character with a wide, surprised expression. It seems these are the individuals who sent the SOS call that reached the Great Fox. In a dramatic shot, a small, dark figure, possibly one of the cat characters, stands silhouetted against a fiery sky, seemingly facing off against the monstrous threat. One panel even shows a close-up on the monster's face, potentially after taking a hit. The situation on Titania is clearly dire, setting the stage for the Star Fox team's arrival and intervention. This page immediately brings us right into the action on planet Titania. Falco Lombardi arrives in his Arwing and, with a determined look, declares, "Kept you waiting!" He wasted no time in engaging the massive, terrifying green monster that was causing the trouble on the previous page. We see his Arwing flying directly at the creature as it appears to be reeling from an attack, with smoke and debris around it. The lower panels show Falco's intense focus and the Arwing striking the monster, accompanied by sounds of the creature's roars and the impact of the attack. Falco is clearly here to clean house and rescue the distressed characters on Titania from this grotesque threat. The next page continues the intense action on planet Titania. Falco Lombardi's Arwing is locked in combat with the monstrous creature, unleashing laser fire. Despite his efforts, the large beast manages to escape, prompting Falco to react with an annoyed TCH and question, "Did it get away?" Down on the ground, Cat Monroe, the purple feline pilot, calls out to him, "Falco!" He lands his Arwing and greets her, saying, "Long time no see, Cat." Meanwhile, it seems Rob64 is also present, announcing, "We will soon arrive at Titania," or confirming their location. This page perfectly captures Falco's dynamic arrival and his reunion with Cat during the events on Titania, a key moment from Star Fox 64. The next page continues the Star Fox adventure on Titania, where the team discusses the unexpected discovery of a Cornetria army base there. Fox McCloud questions its presence, while Slippy Toad explains that it was apparently established after Andross's defeat to investigate ancient ruins. Ever the worrier, Peppy Hair voices his concern about Falco and the others, hoping they aren't getting into trouble. The team then arrives at the base, depicted with an Arwing flying towards its silhouette against an orange sky. Inside, they are greeted by Colonel Seals, the highest-ranking officer at the Titania base, who welcomes the Star Fox team. Fox then confidently introduces himself as the leader of Star Fox. This page sets up the team's interaction with the Corneria military presence on Titania, adding a new layer to their mission following the events with Falco and Cat. The next page continues the dramatic turn of events on Titania as the Star Fox team confronts Colonel Seals. Fox initially asks about the rest of their team, but Seals dismisses the information as unconfirmed, while General Pepper looks on sternly. Seals quickly changes the subject, stating he has a specific job they need to do on Titania. Fox agrees to hear the details of this incident. However, the truth is soon revealed. It turns out Colonel Seals is a villain who stole the research of the deceased Njavros and is using it for his own twisted ends. Crystal reveals that Seals is utilizing bioweapon technology to create monsters, like the one shown, presumably to eliminate them. Falco adds that Seals attempted to use some secret as leverage, but received an unexpected counterattack. The page shifts perspective, showing Falco and Crystal together, implying they are either the target or the ones exposing Seals' plot. This page dramatically reveals the true threat on Titania is not just Amarasa's legacy, but a corrupted Cornucoria officer. This page shifts focus to a personal conversation between Falco and Crystal, likely taking place after the dramatic reveal from the previous page. Crystal notes that it's been a long time since they talked like this, and that the past was fun. Falco questions if the present isn't enjoyable, receiving a hesitant response from Crystal. The conversation then turns intimate as Crystal asks Falco if he has a lover. Falco replies that he has never been interested in romance, neither now nor in the past. Crystal expresses doubt, leading Falco to ask about her own romantic situation. Crystal confidently states that she does have someone she likes, prompting a brief, surprised reaction from Falco. This page brings the Star Fox team back into action, receiving a briefing from General Pepper. He confirms their understanding of the situation, which Peppy reacts to with surprise, hearing that remnants of the Andross army are still active. Slippy clarifies the threat, stating that the surviving Andross forces are developing a bioweapon somewhere on the planet and planning an invasion. Peppy expresses frustration that they thought they had completely defeated them before, prompting a quick retort from Slippy reminding Peppy he himself just got captured. Despite the setback, Fox confidently accepts the mission, volunteering the team's services. The general then shows them a display of the enemy's ship, identifying it as belonging to the remnants. The final panel reveals the Star Wolf team, led by Wolf O'Donnell, seemingly in the cockpit of the vessel shown, setting them up as the antagonists the team must face. This page opens with an unexpected scene. Members of the Star Wolf team appear to be receiving assistance, with someone off-panel exclaiming surprise that Falco is helping them. Pigma expresses being touched by the help. Falco himself is shown agreeing to assist, but with clear caveats. He refuses to participate in any blackmail, and explicitly states he's doing it for the money, demanding payment. Things get even stranger as Fox arrives, expressing relief that Falco is safe, and wondering what trouble he was in. Andrew Oikani apologizes for causing worry, and Pigma praises Falco, calling him Big Brother. This implies Fox encountered Falco while he was involved with Starwolf, possibly rescuing him. The page ends dramatically with the appearance of a mysterious, shadowy figure, followed by Falco reacting with visible shock, hinting at a new threat or development right after this tense meeting. This page jumps straight into the fray. In the top panel, Wolf O'Donnell is shown exclaiming, "Enemy aircraft!" while Falco Lombardi tells someone to release jamming before they increase. The scene then shifts to Fox McCloud in his cockpit, calling out, "Found them!" as he spots a target, which appears to be a satellite dish. He contacts Peppy and Slippy, stating he's found the target's location, but his relief is short-lived. His expression turns grim as he realizes they are under attack, specifically encountering jamming, as indicated by the visual disruption affecting the satellite dish. This suggests the Star Fox team is facing an enemy that is actively disrupting their communications during the mission. This page plunges into the heat of battle. The top panel depicts an R-wing enduring intense stress or damage, with dramatic sound effects indicating impact or severe movement. A vertical text block poses a question about the unfolding situation. The interwoven fate of the recently started Fox and Falco is. Fox is shown in his cockpit, looking distressed, as he spots a small, damaged R-wing marked with a warning indicator. In the middle panel, Fox reacts with shock, exclaiming, "Ah, R-wing!" The small, battered ship is clearly visible, trailing smoke. The tension escalates in the bottom panel as Fox makes a crucial realization. He says, "Then, that is," before identifying the pilot with a shocked question. "Falco!" Falco is also shown in his cockpit looking grim, while the damaged R-wing appears close to Fox's view. The page dramatically reveals that Falco is in peril, tying his immediate fate directly to Fox's. This page presents the first installment of the Fox column, diving into the story of Star Fox 64. It kicks off with a recap of the prologue, setting the stage in the Imlilat system, where Drive Andross's terrifying invention has plunged Corneria into despair. General Pepper sends James McCloud and Peppy Hare to investigate Venom, but Pigma Dengar's betrayal leads to James's apparent demise. Peppy escapes to inform James's son, Fox, who then forms a new Star Fox team with Falco, Peppy, and Slippy to confront Angeros as his invasion reaches Corneria. The article highlights the dynamic battles that span from planets to space and even underwater, showcasing the exhilarating action achieved through the team's cooperation against massive weapons and the rival Star Wolf team, which notably includes the traitor Pigma. The famous scenes collection emphasizes that Star Fox 64 offers more than just shooting enemies. It's filled with dramatic moments. Screenshots depict key scenes: the mysterious cat with her suggestive dialogue, Slippy in trouble on planet Titania, a setting for this column's associated manga, the reunion with Bill Gray on Katina, and the final showdown with Andros on Venom, urging players to experience the moving ending themselves. This page is a vibrant summer special previewing new software releases. Titled, Summer Vacation, Chewing on New Software, and also labeled as a New Soft Review, it features a lively collection of characters from various upcoming games. The page proclaims that the summer gaming season offers more than just major titles like Super Mario Sunshine. It highlights games such as the beach volleyball simulation Beach Spikers, described as bringing the feeling of a beach trip indoors, the extensive adventure RPG Evolution, and the GBA title Klonoa, Empire of Dreams, lauded for its accessible action on the go. The GBA RPG Golden Sun, The Lost Age is also prominently mentioned, with the promise of a comprehensive guide to make your summer vacation complete. This extensive feature covers a wide array of new software coming soon, spread across a substantial 78 pages of content. Artwork includes characters from series like Klonoa, Phantasy Star Online, Shenmue, and Dead or Alive. F-Zero GC and AC, based on E3 demo footage, promises a return to the series' signature speed. Visuals, powered by Amusement Vision and the GameCube, recreate the experience. Familiar vehicles and pilots return in futuristic city courses. Anti-gravity technology allows supersonic speeds. A key feature is a home/away connection between the GC and arcade versions, aiming for a deeper link beyond simple data transfer. This could allow for practice time attacks, saving fastest ghost data, using GC unlocked machines in the arcade, and potentially updating fastest times across platforms. Memory card use for data updates is also a possibility, promising a revitalized F-Zero experience. This page gives us a closer look at the pilots and machines confirmed for the upcoming F-Zero title. It's great to see classic contenders like Captain Falcon, Samurai Goro, Stuart, and Pico making their return, bringing back their iconic vehicles: the reliable Blue Falcon, Goro's high-speed Fire Stingray, Stuart's accelerating Golden Fox, and Pico's versatile Wild Goose. The screenshots capture the intense, close-quarters racing F-Zero is known for, showcasing the vital tactics of bumping opponents and utilizing guardrails, a series charm. Excitingly, the article confirms we can anticipate brand new machines and pilots joining the fray, possibly unlockable through gameplay. A mysterious new pilot is revealed, sparking speculation about their role and potential rivalry with Captain Falcon. The page perfectly encapsulates the high-speed, dangerous world of Zero, with Captain Falcon himself depicted ready to risk everything on the track. This page dives into the chaotic world of Sega Soccer Slam on GameCube, a game that throws traditional soccer rules out the window. It's a 3-on-3 battle between 6 teams of 18 unique superhumans who aren't afraid to get physical, allowing punches, chops, and dangerous tackles without a single card shown. The core gameplay revolves around stealing the ball and unleashing powerful shots. You've got a turbo gauge for quick dashes and other actions, seen at the top of the screen, and a special gauge that builds up for devastating killer shoots, shown at the bottom. The killer shoot is an aerial, super-powered shot that can even blow the opposing keeper away, as shown in the screenshots. Beyond the basic killer shoot, there's also the spotlight shoot. During the match, a spotlight appears on the field, shaped like a team's logo. Get into the spotlight and take a shot, and your player floats into the air for another powerful strike. The game even awards points for flashy plays like 1-2s or knocking opponents down, though the article notes the purpose of these points is a bit of a mystery. It's a wild, arcade-style take on soccer, where anything goes to win. This page dives into Sonic Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance, the sequel to the hit first game. The article emphasizes the game's commitment to high-speed 2D action, promising even greater speed and sharper graphics this time around. It highlights the diverse stages players will race through, such as the Greenleaf Forest, the Molten Hot Crater, and the vibrant music plant filled with musical notes and instruments. The page also details the unique actions of the returning heroes, Sonic's signature speed and sliding dash, Tails' tail attack and propeller flight, and Knuckles' gliding and wall climbing abilities. A question is raised regarding the potential return of Amy. Screenshots showcase the distinct visual styles of the zones and the familiar high-speed gameplay aiming for the goal. This page showcases Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island, a fantastic remake of the Super Famicom classic, Yoshi's Island. The article celebrates the game's unique and charming hand-drawn illustration-style graphics, which still look fresh and vibrant today. The story follows Yoshi, who becomes the unexpected hero carrying Baby Mario, or Baby Luigi, depending on who Kamek kidnaps, across the island to rescue the other baby from Bowser's forces. It continues the world established in Yoshi's story. The core gameplay is highlighted, focusing on Yoshi's signature moves. You'll be using Yoshi's long tongue to eat enemies, turning them into eggs, then aiming and throwing those eggs with precision. The iconic flutter jump is back, allowing Yoshi to gain extra height and cross gaps. A key mechanic discussed is what happens when Yoshi gets hit and Baby Mario floats away in a bubble. You have a limited time to rescue him before losing a life, so don't give up. The graphics are described as gentle and perfect for Yoshi's starring role. The page also notes that this GBA release includes the classic Mario Bros. Arcade game for up to 4 players using the communication cable, adding extra value to this pinnacle of 2D action remade for the handheld. This page delves deeper into Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island, specifically highlighting the impressive technical feat of bringing the original Super Famicom game's special effects to the Game Boy Advance. The article points out that GBA successfully recreates complex techniques like rotation, scaling, and transparency, which were originally powered by the Super FX chip on the SNES cartridge. A key comparison is made between the SFC and GBA versions, showcasing a massive character, referred to as Big Donburi in the Japanese text, likely a form of Big Boo or similar enemy. The GBA version accurately reproduces the dramatic scaling and stretching of this large enemy, a scene described as particularly impactful in the original. While noting a slight difference in screen size on the GBA, the quality is said to be so high it's hard to tell the static screenshots apart from the original. The page also illustrates some of Yoshi's transformations, such as morphing into a helicopter to reach new areas, demonstrating the dynamic gameplay elements. Enemy variety is mentioned, with over 100 types featuring rotation and scaling effects themselves. Finally, the article confirms that the classic Mario Bros. Arcade game is included, noting it's coupled with this title. It mentions that the classic mode allows up to 4 players simultaneously, with multi-cartridge support, and the battle mode has quicker loading times. This adds significant replay value to an already fantastic port. The visuals, including the charming artwork of multiple Yoshis, are celebrated throughout the page. This page introduces the Game Boy Advance port of the Super Famicom title, Rockman and Forte, known internationally as Mega Man and Bass. Released late in the SFC's life, this action game arrives on GBA, allowing players to choose between the classic hero Mega Man and his rival, Bass. The article highlights that playing as either character offers a distinctly different experience, allowing for 2 unique ways to tackle the same stages. The page provides details on both protagonists. Mega Man, the kind-hearted robot, is described with his signature abilities like the standard Rockbuster shot, the powerful charge shot which varies in strength, and the sliding maneuver, essential for navigating tight spots and avoiding attacks. Screenshots illustrate the charge shot and the tight passages requiring a slide. Bass, the robot seeking strength, is featured with his rapid-fire Bass Buster, capable of shooting in multiple directions. His movement options include a quick dash and the ability to transform with his support robot, Gospel, into Gospel Boost mode for flight. The article notes that the dash is useful for fast movement, and the Gospel Boost allows access to areas otherwise unreachable. Screenshots showcase Bass's dash and the Gospel Boost in action, along with his multi-directional shooting. Other characters featured include the imposing Robot King and the series antagonist, Drive Wily, both central figures in the game's story. The page emphasizes that this title offers varied gameplay through its dual protagonist system. The next page dives deep into the incredible bosses you'll face as you fight your way through King's Fortress in Mega Man and Bass. Standing between Mega Man and Bass and their goal are 8 powerful robot masters, each with unique designs and attacks that match their themes perfectly. Up top we see 4 of these formidable foes: Grand Man with his massive drilling arms, the theatrical magic man ready to conjure up trouble, Astro Man, a spherical bot who controls smaller celestial bodies, and Pirate Man, looking every bit the swashbuckling sea captain. The page then gives us a peek at several of their stages. Burner Man guards the jungle stage, seemingly intent on burning nature to the ground. Tengu Man awaits in high places, making airborne combat key. Dynamo Man is found in a mechanical stage filled with intricate machinery. And Cold Man oversees a slippery stage covered in snow and ice. Each stage preview shows screenshots hinting at the challenges and enemies within. Finally, there's a cool feature called the Rockman Encyclopedia. As you play through the game, you'll find hidden crids. Collecting these unlocks data and illustrations for characters from the entire Mega Man series, including past bosses. There are 100 crids to find, and completing the encyclopedia is a fun challenge for any Mega Man fan. This page covers Shin Megami Tensei Devil Children, Book of Light and Book of Dark, the latest entry in the spin-off series for the Game Boy Advance. It's scheduled for a late 2002 release in Japan from Atlas. The core premise involves two new protagonists, drawn into separate but intertwined stories, set in the year 200X AD, battling against time distortions across both the human and demon worlds. While they share a common goal, they act independently, each following their own narrative path. The page introduces key characters like Jin, the energetic main protagonist, his childhood friend Reina, who seems caught up in the events, and a Sheremy, a mysterious transfer student also involved. We also meet Jin's spirited partner demon, Land. Screenshots showcase the classic Devil Children gameplay, including turn-based battles and explorations. You see various scenes, from the protagonists interacting to brief glimpses of important figures like Lucifer. A highlight is the sheer number of demons, promising over 360 creatures from both past games and new additions. The page previews a few, such as the evolved Zurimushi, the beautiful goddess Lakshmi, and Gambiel, a fallen angel. The variety in available devils is a major draw for fans of the series. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Children introduces significant gameplay changes. A new, more complex fusion system allows for potentially more diverse demon combinations. Partner demons now transform through 4 stages, offering visual and strategic opportunities, although the specifics remain unclear. Battles feature an expanded party size, allowing up to 3 summoned demons. The demon summoning item, the Devilizer, is now customizable, potentially impacting combat in unexpected ways. The game features a second protagonist, Akira, with his partner Demon Gale, and introduces a variety of new demons. This page previews Dokapon DX, an RPG/party game hybrid, making its way to the GameCube. Known for its incredibly competitive and often friendship-ending gameplay, Dokapon mixes board game movement with deep RPG battles and character growth. You move around a colorful 3D world map by spinning a roulette, landing on various spaces that trigger different events like finding items, fighting monsters, or encountering other players. Battling is a turn-based affair, where you choose commands to attack or defend, striving to defeat opponents. Winning battles against monsters yields experience and items, while defeating other players allows you to steal their money or items, adding a layer of cutthroat strategy. The page introduces 3 player characters you can choose from. Tap, a young attack-type character who can use both items and magic in one turn. Gameral, a speedy ninja who can use items twice per turn. And the mysterious creature Wee-Wee, whose item or magic use gets a random boost. It supports up to 4 players, perfect for causing chaos among friends. This page dives deeper into the chaotic world of Dokapon DX, detailing more ways to get ahead and sabotage your rivals. It introduces field magic, which you can acquire by landing on specific spaces or buying it, allowing you to attack other players directly on the map, adding another layer of aggression to the gameplay. The page also highlights the Vine item, a crucial tool that boosts your roulette movement up to 5 times, potentially allowing for huge leaps across the map. It also reveals that you can take over buildings like banks and shops by force, a risky move that can backfire and make you a wanted criminal if you fail. Unpredictable comeback events, like sudden disasters or encounters, can drastically change the game's flow. The game features an underworld where you can interact with shady characters like assassins or merchants selling dark items, offering unconventional solutions to problems, or allowing you to strengthen yourself or weaken others. A new sponsor system lets players gain weekly income based on their battle performance, adding a strategic element to maintaining success. Finally, the page introduces 3 more playable characters: Rutile, an HP-focused girl who recovers HP each turn; Burakin, a mysterious robot with high defense and recovery; and Lazuli, a magic-type character who can cast spells twice per turn. This page introduces Derby Stallion Advance for the Game Boy Advance, bringing the popular horse racing simulation series to handhelds. It highlights the core gameplay loop that fans know and love: breeding your own racehorses, meticulously training them, and then competing in races to earn prize money and ultimately aim for victory in the prestigious Gig 1 races. The page emphasizes the importance of bloodlines in breeding, and shows screenshots of the stable, training exercises, and the iconic race view. A big draw here is the inclusion of real-name jockeys and rival horses, using the latest data available at the time, adding an extra layer of authenticity for fans of the sport. It looks like they've successfully translated the deep simulation experience to the GBA hardware. This page dives into Best Play Pro Baseball for the Game Boy Advance, a deep simulation game perfect for fans who love the strategic side of baseball. Instead of focusing on action, this title lets you become the manager and control the game from a tactical perspective. You can input data for all 12 professional baseball teams and simulate an entire pennant race, observing how the season unfolds based on the stats and your managerial decisions. The game offers 2 main ways to play. You can sit back and watch the simulated results generated by the computer based on the data, or you can take the reins yourself during games. As manager, you make crucial calls like pitching changes, pinch hitting, deciding whether to bunt, and other strategic plays that impact the outcome. The screenshots show the manager interface and the in-game diamond view, where you see the action unfold based on your choices. A major highlight is the extensive customization. You can freely edit player stats and abilities, create your own original players or even entire teams, and simulate trades, letting you build your ultimate dream roster or explore hypothetical scenarios. The page includes tables showing sample game results and player statistics, emphasizing the data-driven nature of the simulation. It truly captures the detailed world of professional baseball management. This page dives deep into the groundbreaking online RPG that captured the hearts of gamers everywhere: Phantasy Star Online Episode In and 2 for the Nintendo GameCube. Vibrant key art showcases the game's iconic and diverse cast of characters, ready to explore the mysteries of Rhaegal. The page sets the stage with the compelling narrative: the Pioneer Project, a desperate large-scale immigration plan necessitated by the decline of Earth. The first ship, Pioneer 1, reached the planet Rhaegal, discovered by an unmanned probe, and began colonization efforts, establishing the Central Dome. However, 7 years later, just as the second ship, Pioneer 2, arrived in orbit, a massive explosion rocked the planet's surface, severing communication with the Central Dome. This dramatic setup is what drew us all into the world of Phantasy Star Online. Details about the GameCube release are provided, highlighting it as a network RPG supporting 1 to 4 players. It was a big deal that it supported both modem and broadband adapters, plus keyboard controllers, making the online experience smoother than ever. The page also notes a brief postponement for the release date. Screenshots show off a glimpse of the Pioneer ships or stations, and a fearsome creature lurking on the planet's surface, hinting at the dangers and adventures awaiting players on Rhaegal. This was the definitive version for many, bringing the full SAPSO experience to a new platform. The next page dives into the online experience of Phantasy Star Online Episode Is and 2 on the GameCube, highlighting how communication is key to enjoying this groundbreaking online RPG. It was a huge deal, being the first online game on the system. The page explains that players take on the role of hunters hired by the government to explore the planet Rhaegal. You get to choose from 12 different character types, a combination of 3 professions, hunter, ranger, and force, and 4 races: human, android, and the new races, Newman. Hunter is your melee fighter, ranger is the ranged expert, and force is the magic user, or technique user as they're called in PAPSO. Character creation is also detailed, showing you can customize body type, face, hairstyle, and more to make your character unique online. The page stresses the importance of standing out in the bustling online world. Communication tools are a big focus. There's the amazing word select system, which lets you choose preset words and phrases that automatically translate between players speaking different languages. A massive innovation for the time. You can also use symbol chat with expressive pictures, exchange guild cards to share information, and use the choice search function to find players with similar levels, ages, or objectives. This really shows how much thought went into connecting players across the globe. Screenshots throughout the page showcase these features and the diverse character lineup. The next page continues the deep dive into Phantasy Star Online Episode In and 2 on the GameCube, outlining the flow of the online game experience. After creating your character and connecting, the very first place you'll visit is the visual lobby. This is where players gather from all over, looking for teammates for adventures. It's a real hub for meeting fellow hunters. You can even mess around and play some ball games while waiting. From the lobby, you head to the city, which acts as your main base of operations for all your adventures. It's where you can prepare your gear, recover, and gather vital information. The page shows different areas within the city for both Episode 1 and Episode 2, including shops and preparation rooms. There's also mention of a lab area, seemingly linked to a character named Natasha, described as a bit strict. The GameCube version brought some great new features to the table. The info board lets players post custom messages that others can see in the lobby, or via guild cards, making communication even easier. Item trading is significantly improved. Instead of dropping items on the ground like on the Dreamcast, you can now trade directly through a menu, which is incredibly convenient given how often you'll be swapping gear. Plus, new privacy features like blocking messages from unwanted players and setting up auto-replies for when you're busy, like in a boss fight, were added, showing Sega really listened to player feedback. The next page delves into the adventure itself in Phantasy Star Online, specifically focusing on Episode 1. Starting from the city, you venture into the initial areas. First up is the forest area, a bright, open environment that can quickly turn gloomy and rainy as you progress. You'll face various creatures before taking on the area boss, the massive dragon, known for its varied attacks. Next, you descend into the underground cave area. Here you can't see the sky, and the focus shifts to navigating darker, interconnected paths, requiring teamwork. The boss awaiting you is De Role, a challenging foe you'll need to time your attacks against. Finally, you explore the mysterious mine area, an underground facility not listed in the logs of Pioneer 2. This area is full of treacherous traps and features fast-moving enemies that dart around like ninjas. The page also highlights the crucial concept of rarity among weapons, armor, and items. Weapons are categorized by class specialization. Hunters excel with swords, rangers with guns, and forces with canes. Armor includes standard armor and shields. Items have varying rarities, with rare items being harder to find but significantly more powerful. Items with displayed need to be appraised back in the city shop to reveal their true nature. A specific example of a rare weapon is shown, the Talus, a throwable weapon exclusive to forces that utilizes photon and spell power, described as a mysterious card-like weapon. This page announces the release date and official titles for the next generation of Pokémon games, Pokémon Ruby and Pokémon Sapphire, set for release on the Game Boy Advance on November 21st. These titles introduce a major evolution to the series' core gameplay. The highlight is the brand new battle system, shifting from the traditional 1v1 duels to intense 2v2 team battles. Screenshots confirm this, showing two Pokémon on each side simultaneously engaging in combat. The user interface is updated to clearly display the gender, level, and HP for all four Pokémon involved in the battle. The page showcases some of the new Pokémon species players will encounter and battle alongside, such as Sharpedo, Wailmer, Volbeat, and Duskull. Battles can also take place in varied environments, including battles fought directly on the water. The introduction of team battles drastically increases the strategic depth. Planning your team's composition and utilizing the synergies between Pokémon types and abilities becomes crucial. The page hints at the possibility of special combination attacks that leverage the paired nature of the battles, promising exciting new tactical options. This page reveals 3 more new Pokémon for Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire, bringing the total shown so far to 9. First up is Shroomish, the mushroom Pokémon. Notable for its small size and potential to utilize status moves like Spore and draining attacks like Mega Drain, suggesting a strategy of putting foes to sleep before attacking. Next is Pelipper, the seabird Pokémon, easily recognizable by its large beak and confirmed as a flying type, seen using Gust. The The page speculates if it might be able to swallow opponents. Finally, Sharpedo is introduced, a fierce Pokemon whose intimidating look hints at high attack power. The page ponders how effective it might be in battle. Beyond the new creatures, we get a look at the game world, featuring new town and road screenshots. Both modern, Western-style areas and tranquil Japanese-inspired towns are showcased, highlighting the game's evolving graphics. Dungeons are also confirmed, and the text speculates about a world setting potentially distinct from previous games, adding to the anticipation. This page dives into the world of Resident Evil 0 on the Nintendo GameCube. It opens with the intriguing question, what was inside the runaway train? Hinting at the game's setting, we see the basic game info. It's a survival horror title from Capcom, planned for an autumn 2002 release in Japan. The page highlights Rebecca Chambers, the rookie S.TARS member from the original Resident Evil, placing this game as a prequel detailing the Bravo Team incident she was involved in before the mansion incident. The core gameplay feature is introduced as partner zapping, allowing players to control two main characters, Rebecca and Billy Cohen, who are trying to escape the zombie-infested train. You can switch between them, have them act independently, or work together to solve puzzles and survive the horror. Screenshots show the menu system for giving partner commands and managing items, emphasizing cooperation is key. Beyond the train, the page previews various locations like a creepy toilet, a packed library with mysterious books, an atmospheric old-fashioned hall reminiscent of the first game's mansion, and a boiler room deep underground. Each location is described with a sense of dread and intrigue, promising the classic Resident Evil blend of exploration, puzzles, and intense horror. The mention of a mansion similar to the first game's setting definitely builds excitement for fans of the series. The next page continues the look at Resident Evil 0, focusing on a terrifying new enemy, the giant scorpion. The headline questions whether this massive creature is a bioorganic weapon or not, highlighting the uncertainty surrounding the game's threats. The scorpion is described as a gigantic entity over 3 meters tall, capable of piercing train cars with its sharp claws and possessing a hard shell. The text explains that BO.AWs, like the familiar Cerberus and Hunters, are biomonsters created by Umbrella. However, given that Resident Evil 0 is a prequel set when Umbrella's virus research wasn't complete, many enemies encountered might be non-BOW, indirectly infected, or experimental creatures, making the range of threats very high. Several screenshots show Rebecca and Billy facing off against the colossal arachnid. We see Rebecca reeling from an attack and Billy engaging the monster, even wielding a machine gun in one shot. The sheer size of the scorpion and its menacing appearance are clearly emphasized, promising an intense boss battle early in the game. This page dives into the intriguing N64 adventure game, Mickey no Fushigi Nakagami, Mickey's Mysterious Mirror. The premise is classic spooky Disney. Mickey is lured by a ghost into a mysterious mansion within a dream world, accessible only through a broken mirror. Your goal is to collect the shattered pieces of this mirror, scattered throughout the house, to escape. Gameplay is a point-and-click adventure, guiding Mickey by moving a cursor around the screen. The cursor cleverly changes depending on what you're pointing at, indicating different actions like examining objects with a magnifying glass, using items from your bag, opening doors with a key cursor, or simply interacting with a finger cursor for walking or deciding. A major mechanic highlighted is the trick ability. This isn't just a simple interaction, it's a special power Mickey uses to solve specific puzzles, reveal hidden paths, and progress. Using a trick costs trick points, adding a layer of strategy to when and where you deploy this unique ability. The page shows screenshots of Mickey exploring the eerie mansion, the different cursor types, the bizarre dream world, and using a trick to uncover a hidden key in a pot, demonstrating its importance in overcoming obstacles. It looks like a fun, puzzle-filled exploration game with a distinct visual style. This page continues the look at the N64 game Mickey no Fushigi Nakagami, Mickey's Mysterious Mirror, confirming it's a click adventure game developed by Nintendo. It highlights some really interesting features beyond the core puzzle-solving gameplay. There's a kids mode that makes the game much easier for younger players, designed to be finished in about an hour. This mode also supports parent cursor cooperation, where a second player can control a cursor to help guide the main player, offering hints and assistance directly on screen. After completing the main game, a fun two-player hat-finding mode unlocks. Players take turns hiding and searching for 5 hats placed around the game's house environments. But the most intriguing part is the section introducing Mickey and Minnie's Magical Quest on the Game Boy Advance. This is presented as a separate 2D action platformer, where you play as either Mickey or Minnie to rescue Pluto. The GBA game features classic platforming, boss battles, and different costumes that grant special abilities, like one allowing you to stay underwater. The article teases that clearing the N64 game and using the GBA cable allows for a special link with the GBA Magical Quest game, suggesting some cool cross-platform interaction. This page dives into the upcoming Nintendo GameCube title, Zoids vs. The big news here is the early appearance of the massive Godzillas Giga, showcased in the game even before its toy release. This powerful Zoid lives up to its name, boasting enhanced heavy weaponry, including the devastating long-range Buster Cannon. Beyond its long-range power, Godzillas Giga is also a force up close, capable of powerful biting attacks and wide-area tail swings, perfect for controlling space or counterattacking. The article emphasizes choosing the right pilot, especially one skilled in shooting, to truly unleash its potential. You'll get to pilot Godzillas Giga yourself and also face it as a formidable enemy. The game promises to bring anime characters into the fray alongside these new Zoids. Zoids vs. is a 3D action game from Tomy, supporting 1 to 2 players. And for early buyers, there's a sweet first-run bonus: an original orange-color Sniper Master Zoid toy, hinting at the game's mission mode featuring the Republic's protagonist piloting that very color. Zoids vs. features Battle Mode, allowing players to pilot anime Zoids with original voice actors, creating unique pilot/Zoid combinations. Mission Mode presents a new story, playable as Republic's Zan or Empire's Liner, with missions tailored to each side. Pilot selection and Zoid customization deeply impact performance. Different pilots excel in different combat styles, melee or shooting, and various weapons/armor/parts can be combined for optimized strategies. A large roster includes iconic Zoids like the Blade Liger, Liger Zero variants, Saber Tiger, Genosaurs, and more. This page features a special report on Black Matrix Zero for the Game Boy Advance, prompted by its release delay. The article notes the game's surprising popularity, debuting at 7th place in the Nintendo Stadium rankings, with a significant portion of its supporters being female users. The page includes key game information like its title, developer, NEC Interchannel, release date, August 30th, price, 5,800 yen, genre, simulation RPG, and player count, 1 person. There are prominent illustrations of the main characters, Kane and others, along with a game screenshot showing in-game character portraits and dialogue. The game's premise is touched upon, describing a world where angels, demons, and humans coexist, and the story involves a young human boy embarking on a journey to save a childhood friend. The page highlights the distinct art style and character designs as a likely reason for its appeal, noting that the artwork, illustrators, tend to be elementary to middle school aged. A small section provides a quick summary of the game's world, mentioning the series' first game featured a world where the concepts of good and evil were reversed, and how the GBA version takes place hundreds of years later, with the 3 races fighting together. The page also includes a box art image for the game. This page continues the special report on Black Matrix Zero for the Game Boy Advance, opening with a striking image illustration featuring the cast. The developers describe the game's world as a mature, apocalyptic setting based on mythology, which isn't always bright and cheerful. The dialogue can be quite intense, appealing to players looking for something beyond the norm. But we're introduced to a couple of key characters. Aragi, a cool villain who appears to be popular, quoted with a fierce line about crushing angels. And Luca, who, despite seeming cute, offers a darker path if the protagonist chooses to walk through hell with her. An editor's note warns players that the game's atmosphere isn't as lighthearted as the art might suggest, and the story gets increasingly heavy and painful as it progresses. Gameplay is detailed as a tactical simulation battle system on maps, with varying elevations. Players control up to 20 units, using direct attacks, projectile weapons, and magic fueled by battle points. After clearing a map, players manually distribute points to level up their characters. A significant story element involves the protagonist, critically injured early on, being forced to choose between accepting black demonic wings or white angelic wings to survive. This decision profoundly impacts character relationships and the narrative path. The black wings are implied to be taken from someone killed by Luca, while the white wings are inherited from an important story figure. This page dives into more details about the legendary Starfy for the Game Boy Advance. We see a striking, more serious-looking green version of Starfy, hinted at in the title, asking if the cute Starfy can look like this. The report introduces two new powerful bosses. The first is Doppel, a formidable foe who can imitate Starfy's techniques, including his signature spin attack. The second boss is Boctopus, a pirate octopus who attacks by spitting ink. Screenshots show Staffy battling these new enemies. The page also highlights two new enjoyable elements in the game. Players can now collect companions. After clearing stages, you can take commemorative photos with the friends you've gathered, with the number of companions depending on items found. The pictures show Starfy posing with Kurasuke the bird, and Yato Kurita the hermit crab. Another new feature is an enemy encyclopedia, or Zukan, where data on enemies defeated by Starfy's spin attack is collected, with unknown foes marked by a question mark. The legendary Starfy is a marine action game from Nintendo set for release on September 6th, supporting the GBA link cable. This page previews J.League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru Advance, bringing Sega's popular soccer management simulation series to Nintendo hardware and portable consoles for the first time on the Game Boy Advance. Players step into the shoes of a J.League club manager, initially facing the challenge of winning the final 3 games to secure their position before aiming to build Japan's top club. A unique element is the choice of one of 3 attractive secretaries who assist the manager. The game focuses on core club management, including acquiring players, directing training sessions, and expanding facilities like training grounds, clubhouses, and stadiums. Screenshots show the detailed training interface where improving player abilities is key, and the facility expansion menu highlighting the significant costs involved. The match portion of the game puts you on the sidelines as the manager. You can influence the game by changing tactics and making substitutions based on player stamina and the score, as indicated in the screenshots showing the formation and player stats. The match view transitions between a strategic top-down perspective and a dramatic zoomed-in view during scoring chances, adding excitement as seen in the goal highlight. The game captures the depth of managing a professional soccer club while adapting the series for the GBA format, emphasizing quick tempo play. This page dives into Mr. Driller Ace for the Game Boy Advance, showcasing a major new feature: raising mysterious creatures called bacteria. The core loop involves digging through ruins, collecting items, and feeding them to the bacteria at the Research Institute. What's exciting is how these bacteria transform dramatically, changing shape, color, and even personality based on what you give them. There are over 100 variations to discover. The digging gameplay is tweaked here, emphasizing puzzle strategy as air is consumed with each block. As you dig deeper and collect items, you earn driller mileage points, which you can spend at a shop to get helpful items. Beyond the bacteria mode, there are plenty of ways to play, including Driller Race Easy, offering surprising 4-player action with just 1 cartridge, and Driller Grand Prix, where you race against CPU opponents across global stages, aiming for the championship. It looks like Namco packed a lot of content into this portable driller entry. This page introduces us to Samurai Evolution Okoku Geist, an intriguing RPG for the Game Boy Advance set in a future Japan called Okoku. The story kicks off when the protagonist, Masamune, a samurai from this future, meets Sakura, a girl tied to Okoku's vital world tree system, leading him into a grand adventure to protect her. We learn about key characters like Masamune's sister Kaguya, an ace in the Star Battle unit, and Akira, the villainous leader of the secret society Yakumo. The page also unveils several other samurai crucial to the plot, including Kotetsu, a half-Japanese, half-American boy who takes an interest in Masamune; Yuki, a bold girl with a hidden agenda pursuing Akira; her stoic twin brother Muramasa; Faye, a powerful witch from Europe targeting Akira; Tsukiko, Masamune's mysterious mentor; Rinzei, her skilled pupil; and Shu, a powerful Star Battle user from Okoku's army who targets Masamune. The combat system, called Astral Duel, or Star Battle, involves samurai using mysterious lifeforms known as yaiba as weapons. These yaiba are actually defeated creatures that become allies, and collecting more is key to gaining the upper hand in battle. Screenshots display dialogue scenes and sprite-based battles, showcasing various special moves, and the mechanic of drawing your yaiba weapon, which can even change form. This looks like a deep, character-driven RPG, with a unique battle system. This page dives into Combat Koro-Q Advance, bringing the adorable Koro-Q tanks into a full-blown strategic simulation on the Game Boy Advance. Don't let the cute appearance fool you. This is a serious strategy game focused on tank combat, The core gameplay unfolds on hexagonal grids, challenging you with various missions like rescuing allies or reaching specific locations. Positioning is key, as adjacent friendly tanks provide support effects, boosting capabilities in battle. You'll utilize both main cannons and sub-weapons, with the latter offering unique effects or longer range, though often limited ammo. There's even a pinpoint targeting system for specific parts, like turrets or treads, adding tactical depth. A major highlight is the customization. You can develop various parts to upgrade your tanks, tailoring them to different battle scenarios or terrain types. Certain formations can even trigger powerful formation attacks when specific conditions are met. Adding to the appeal, the tanks featured in the game are modeled after real-world historical tanks, like the Tiger II T-35, Churchill Mk-IV M4 Sherman, Renault FT-17 P-40, and Type 95 light tank. If you know your tanks, you'll appreciate the details and how their real-life characteristics are reflected in their in-game performance. It's a great blend of the charming Choro Q style with solid strategic gameplay for tank fans. This page dives into the action-packed world of Metal Gunslinger on the Game Boy Advance. Set in a Wild West-like future, the game focuses on using unique abilities called gun arts. These moves are inspired by animal movements and can be strung together for cool combos. Beyond standard gun arts, there's the metal gun arts, where your gun, the metal gun, transforms based on animal movements for devastating attacks. The page shows off different gun arts and the metal gun transformation feature. We see protagonist Billy in action screenshots, executing moves inspired by animals like the wildcats. The story unfolds through visual scenes between stages, giving context to Billy, a young boy entrusted with a legendary metal gun. Adding to the experience, the Metal Gunslinger universe is expanding beyond the game. There's a radio show called Three Sisters Billy's Angel Special Talk, featuring the voice actresses, broadcast weekly. A comic adaptation also began serialization in Dragon Jr. magazine, offering a deeper look at the story and characters with slightly more mature designs. The page also introduces a fierce-looking antagonist named Kill Akira, a master of knives. This looks like a fun action game with some interesting multimedia tie-ins. This page dives into the GameCube release of Shin-Kei Sekai Evolution, an RPG that originally graced the Dreamcast. This isn't just a simple port. The GC version bundles both the first and second Dreamcast titles into one package and features updated graphics. You play as Mag Launcher, the young head of a struggling family of adventurers, exploring ruins in search of the mysterious treasure known as Evolution. The core gameplay loop involves taking requests from the research organization Societe to investigate various ruins scattered across the world. These expeditions lead you deep into dungeons, culminating in boss battles. The game features a party system where you can control up to 3 characters simultaneously in battle. Mag and Linear Cannon are fixed party members, but the third slot is open for choosing from other allies you meet. Mag is a close combat specialist, using his Psy-Frame weapon for powerful magic punch attacks to blast enemies away. Linear is a more supportive character, with the unique ability to revive plants, which translates into battlefield support through status buffs and healing. The screenshots show character art, town exploration, dialogue scenes, and combat featuring the 3 core characters Mag, Linear, and likely Pepper. This looks like a great way for GC owners to experience the beloved Dreamcast RPG saga with enhanced visuals. This page continues exploring Shin-Kei Sekai Evolution, highlighting how each character's unique features shine in battle. Characters possess signature special moves, Hisatsu Waza, and abilities, Tokugi, tied to their weapons and personalities, presented with dynamic 3D camera angles. They even have distinct reactions when taking damage. A special GIC original mode is detailed, allowing players to challenge consecutive bosses after clearing the game, yielding valuable rewards. Linear's unique ability to talk to monsters is showcased, offering a gentle way to potentially avoid combat. The game features 2 types of dungeons: those with automatically generated layouts that change with each entry, and fixed layout dungeons. While the original Dreamcast version relied heavily on fixed layouts, the GameCube version incorporates the automatic generation type more frequently. Finally, the page introduces 3 supporting characters: Grenadier, a veteran swordsman who can heal allies and use unique skills like cooking attacks; Chain Gun, a young adventurer who fights with a back-mounted weapon and can fly; and Pepperbox, a wild adventurer specializing in powerful, wide-range attacks with her bazooka-like Psy-Frame. This page dives into the GC version of Beach Spikers, an arcade port bringing authentic beach volleyball action with simple controls. Using just the analog stick and a couple of buttons, you can easily perform core actions like serving, receiving, tossing, and attacking. Timing your button presses with the power gauge is key for powerful spikes. The game features 16 nations competing on the sand, each with unique player characteristics. Some countries, like America and Brazil, are noted as being easier to pick up and play. Several pairs of players from different countries, including Spain, France, Italy, Mexico, Japan, and the Netherlands, are showcased with illustrations. There's also a dedicated tutorial mode where you can master the controls by completing specific challenges. This mode helps you hone your skills in serving, receiving, attacking, and blocking, ensuring you're ready for competitive play. It's a smart inclusion for getting new players up to speed. This page dives deeper into the GameCube version of Beach Spikers, showcasing the two original modes added beyond the arcade game. The first is the extensive World Tour mode, where you team up with a computer-controlled partner and guide their growth across various tournaments. You earn points based on match performance and allocate them to improve your partner's stats like serve, reception, and attack. Team chemistry is also crucial and can be influenced by in-game communication choices. You can even edit your player's appearance with different faces, hairstyles, and swimsuits. The other major addition is the VS mode, which allows for up to 4 players and includes a collection of fun minigames alongside standard matches. These minigames offer diverse challenges. Beach Flags is a race where players sprint and jump to grab flags. Beach Countdown turns the game into a hot potato-style rally with a bomb that explodes on impact. And Beach Page K is a penalty shootout focusing purely on spiking and blocking timing. What's cool is that the team you develop in the World Tour mode can even be brought over to compete in the arcade mode. This page introduces the GameCube title August-2 no Ho-Ho-Fan, a charming development and communication game from Tolomi. Players enter the whimsical world of Suiso to raise and interact with the electronic pet character, Mutsu. The unique twist is that the world evolves and changes depending on the in-game month, offering 12 distinct environments, such as the cherry blossom-filled April or the rainy June. Players will encounter various friendly inhabitants, including the relaxed No-Ho-Ho-Fan tribe and musical Shipanaru, and can even raise the offspring character, Michi. Exploring these monthly worlds, finding items like keys to unlock new areas, and collecting the scattered fragments of Michi are key to progression and reaching the ultimate goal. Feeding Mutsu different items can influence its growth, and minigames and events provide fun ways to acquire new things. It looks like a truly relaxed and engaging experience, focused on companionship and discovery. This page delves deeper into interacting with your Mutsu companion. Beyond just existing in its world, you can directly communicate with Mutsu using commands like Yobu, call, and Oshieru, teach. Mutsu will chat back, and its mood can even change how it speaks. You can also be asked questions and teach it new words. Plus, for the musically inclined, you can teach Mutsu melodies you create, and it will happily hum them back. The page also reveals that Mutsu evolves through 2 stages, starting as the tiny Michi. Your interactions and the items you give it directly influence its growth into different forms. We see examples of these evolved forms like the whale-like Aimutsu or the panda-like Sasamutsu. Finally, it's cool to learn that the Mutsu characters originated from a popular toy line from Tomami, including the No-Ho-Fan tribe and Shipanaru plushies, explaining their calming and charming nature. This page showcases Custom Robo GX, bringing the fast-paced robot combat series to the Game Boy Advance. Releasing on July 26th for 4,800 yen, it's classified as a robot action RPG, supporting 12 players via link cable. While the N64 predecessor featured 3D battlefields, GX shifts to a 2D perspective set in zeroed coliseums, allowing for complete freedom of movement in the air and unlimited aerial dashing for incredibly speedy battles. Just like before, you can customize your robot with various parts, though the total number of part types is 4, with guns being the most crucial. The page details the different actions assigned to button combinations. The B button handles the standard alpha shot, your primary weapon with recoil that prevents rapid-fire spamming. The Echel button controls sub-weapons, like guided missiles fired from pods, adding strategic depth. The R button unleashes bombs, each with unique flight paths and explosion effects that can launch enemies. Combining R plus B gives you the beta shot, which offers different effects from the alpha shot, such as piercing walls or firing multiple projectiles. Finally, L plus R activates the action chip, allowing you to set one special move like a shoulder tackle or a defense shield, used for offense or defense depending on your preference. The screenshots illustrate the grid-based arenas and the visual effects of the different weapon types. This page dives deeper into the gameplay of Custom Robo GX, focusing on strategic combat using the environment and introducing the game's core characters. It highlights how the 2D perspective on GBA allows for different tactics compared to the 3D N64 game, particularly emphasizing the use of obstacles. A key mechanic is the ability to attack through walls. The beta shot is highlighted for its wall-piercing capability, making it crucial for stages with lots of cover. Certain robos are also capable of dashing through walls, allowing for sneaky direct attacks. The page shows screenshots illustrating how these penetrating attacks work within the grid-based arenas. Beyond penetrating attacks, the page touches on other strategic options, like using bombs that fly over obstacles and robos capable of flight, adding verticality and indirect attack possibilities to the battles. Finally, we get an introduction to the game's story and characters. The protagonist, who is the player's avatar, is tasked with clearing various contests and gets involved in a dark battle organization while investigating a spy case for the police. The main characters include Yusuke, a friendly navigator who gives battle advice, Hitomi, a slightly airheaded junior who joins as a companion and heroine, and Mizumi, a genius rival with a weak body who cannot participate directly in battles. Screenshots show these characters in conversation scenes, setting the stage for the adventure. Super Robot Wars R for the GBA introduces several new systems to deepen strategy. The reliability system emphasizes pilot-to-pilot bonds, boosting stats when compatible units fight together. The command range, generated by units with the command skill, enhances allies' hit and evade rates based on the pilot's skill level. Finally, the shield defense system allows for strategic damage mitigation through defense counterattacks and unit-specific shield activations. These new mechanics provide a more nuanced approach to combat compared to previous titles. Super Robot Wars MAR offers branching scenarios, significantly impacting the story based on player choices. The trial weapon Common Route branches into paths like Nadesico movie version and Char's counterattack. The Nadesico route features scenarios like the Mars colony coup and a showdown with Hokushin. The Char's counterattack route focuses on preventing Axis from falling to Earth, including battles against Fifth Luna and a rival showdown. Key mobile suits and characters from various anime series, like the Nadesico, Black Selena, and Char's Aznable, are central to these diverse storylines. This page focuses on Kaze no Klonoa G2, Dream Champ Tournament for the Game Boy Advance, an action puzzle game released on August 6th. The core gameplay revolves around Klonoa's ability to inflate enemies with his wind bullet and use them as a stepping stone for double jumps or to throw them to solve puzzles and defeat foes. Klonoa participates in a tournament hosted by the mysterious Garland to determine the greatest hero, facing rivals such as the bounty hunter Gunts. Klonoa's friends, the priestess in training Lolo, and her companion Popka, also feature. The game structure includes 5 worlds, each with 9 stages featuring 3 types: puzzle stages involving collecting items, action stages with forced scrolling challenges, and floatboard stages focused on navigating obstacles and enemies. Each world concludes with a boss stage, sometimes presented as a race against another competitor. This page continues the discussion on Klonoa 2, Dream Champ Tournament, highlighting the new mechanics and increased challenge. It notes that the action and puzzle elements are more difficult, requiring clever use of Klonoa's abilities. One new trick involves using the wind bullet on certain enemies to become charged with electricity, allowing Klonoa to break electrified boxes and enemies. Throwing specific enemies, like Lakuri, at other foes or rocks, can alter their properties. For water stages, where Klonoa struggles, he gains a helpful diving suit called the Deep One, making movement easier. The boss battles in the game are presented as time attack challenges, where you must solve stage puzzles quickly while racing against a rival, with victory going to whoever reaches the goal first. Obstacle characters also appear to hinder your progress, such as the tricky Joker and his minion Bingo Bingo, who throws rocks you must dodge before defeating him. Finally, the floatboard stages are now in 3Ds, offering a new perspective as you navigate obstacles and enemies through environments like jungles and deserts. These new features add variety and difficulty to the tournament. This page is all about the GBA release of Bubble Bobble, old and new. It's a return for the classic Taito arcade hit, repackaged for the Game Boy Advance with a neat twist. This version includes the original arcade game experience, referred to here as the old mode, which is a perfect port for those nostalgic for the 1986 classic. But the real highlight is the new mode, a modernized and revamped version of the game with updated graphics and new features like an item library to track your collected goodies. The core bubble-blowing, enemy-popping gameplay remains the same timeless fun in both modes. However, the new version adds some charming touches, like cute sound effects for the dragons. The page also mentions that the second dragon, Bob Lund, can even appear in single-player mode under specific circumstances to lend a helping hand, making clearing stages easier. For multiplayer action, you'll need a GBA communication cable. The old mode supports one cartridge play, letting two people play with just one game pack, which is a fantastic feature, though the new mode requires two cartridges for two players. It's presented as a must-have for both longtime fans and newcomers to this legendary action game. This page delves deeper into the gameplay and features a bubble bobble old and new on the GBA. It covers the classic bubble trapping and popping mechanic, explaining how you blow bubbles to encase enemies and then pop them by touching the bubble, ideally with your back fin, to defeat them. Stringing together multiple bubble pops creates chains, earning you higher scores and bonuses. A big part of the strategy comes from the special items that grant power-ups. You'll find candies that increase your bubble range, speed, and the ability to rapid-fire bubbles, and shoes to boost your movement speed. These are essential for tackling later, tougher stages, but you have to grab them fast after they appear under specific conditions before they vanish. There are also unique assist bubbles that appear from openings in the level edges, causing environmental effects like lightning, fire, or water when popped. These can clear enemies in a big way, offering tactical advantages. Popping a fire bubble, for instance, turns the floor into a sea of fire. Another cool feature is the return of nostalgic Taito characters. You'll encounter enemies like Monsta from Chak and Pop, and even the iconic Space Invaders show up to attack Bob Lund, adding fun callbacks for longtime fans. Chak and Pop himself appears as a rare item. It's a delightful mix of classic bubble bobble action with nods to other Taito greats. Super Ghouls and Ghosts are a challenging action game for the Game Boy Advance, revives the difficult series. Released July 19th for 4,800 yen, it features returning protagonist Arthur, who must rescue Princess Prin Prin. The game retains its high difficulty and key mechanics like the double jump. Arthur can use various armor types, golden, blue, and 8 weapons, lance, crossbow, axe, etc. A new Arrange mode lets players replay stages from previous titles, with stage selection based on Arthur's armor. Bosses, including Arima, are also featured. The game is a faithful and challenging return for fans, with new content. This page takes us into the whimsical world of Disney's Magical Park on the GameCube. Released back on August 1st for 6,800 yen, this is a party game built for fun with up to 4 players. The core idea is simple and engaging. You explore a Disney-themed park, playing various attractions which are minigames, all to collect items you place on a bingo card. Complete a line on your card, and you're closer to victory. You get to choose from classic characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, and Pluto, ready for a magical bingo tour. Movement around the park is determined by betting on spaces before spinning a roulette, adding a layer of strategy to your path. The minigames themselves look varied and exciting, like chaotic cooking challenges in Panic Kitchen, or aerial battles in Balloon Flight. Beyond the attractions, landing on certain spaces triggers events that can give you helpful items like crystals, or even cause accidents on your bingo card, keeping every game fresh and unpredictable. It's a charming Disney take on the board game style party genre, perfect for fans of the characters and lighthearted competition. This page is an advertisement for Disney Sports Soccer on the GameCube. It highlights the game's cool aesthetic and features recognizable Disney characters playing soccer. The game includes Exhibition, Dream Cup, and Challenge Cup modes. Screenshots showcase gameplay, including special moves like a thundershoot. Various Disney characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy appear in soccer uniforms representing different teams. The next page showcases 3 Disney sports games for the Game Boy Advance. First up is Disney Sports Soccer, where you can link up with the GameCube version to exchange items. The game features various Disney characters and teams, with special moves like Mickey's Fire Shot, and promises great graphics. Next is Disney Sports Skateboarding, where players can perform cool tricks as Mickey, Minnie, Donald, or Goofy. The screenshots showed different skateboarding stages and command-based tricks. Finally, there's Disney Sports, American Football, a full-fledged football game with tackles and fancy passes. It stars Disney characters and football gear, and screenshots show different gameplay aspects, including offensive and defensive plays. This page covers 2 games for the Game Boy Advance. First is Pinobi and Phoebe, a sequel where Phoebe joins Pinobi. The game focuses on using both characters' abilities to progress through levels. The article shows screenshots of Pinobi's Spiral Dash and Phoebe's Needle Dash, highlighting their unique uses. There's also a mention of boss battles at the end of stages. Next is Metaro G, Kabuto version and Kuwagata version, where the goal is to win the Robottle tournament. The game features new Metarotes and has changed from command input to real-time button control. The article mentions the team battles and the importance of part customization and techniques. A screenshot shows off some of the Metarotes and their battle stages. The next page features 2 Game Boy Advance games. The first is V Master Cross, a card battle game where the protagonist, Tendai Maru, is summoned to the cross-continent and must save it. The game involves summoning monsters using summoner cards and forming combos to win battles. Combinations of cards will activate combos which will lead to victory. Combos depend on your attributes and can be summoned with cards on the field. The second game is Hamster Paradise Advance, where you can raise 2 hamsters simultaneously. The game features new hamster types and lets you explore different worlds. Raising hamsters leads to them changing into different forms, like a business hamster in a suit with glasses and a laptop, and even lets you explore new worlds. You feed and play with the hamsters, and you can get cute reactions from them. This page previews 2 games for the Game Boy Advance. First up is Ice Age, an action game where you control Manny the Mammoth and Sid the Sloth to return a baby to its parents. The game features puzzle elements, fast-paced actions, and stages set in icy landscapes and caves, and the gameplay follows the story from the original movie. The second game is Tokimeki Dream Series 1, Ohanayasan ni Naru, or Let's Be a Florist, a simulation game where you play as Nozomi, a girl who helps at a flower shop. You decorate flowers according to customer requests and participate in mini-games, such as a fruit collecting game and a flower seed matching game. The next page spotlights 2 Game Boy Advance titles. The first is Space Invaders X, a revamped version of the classic arcade shooter. It features a classic mode that preserves the original gameplay and a 1-player mode with updated graphics, power-ups, and boss battles. 2 players can also team up via a GBA link cable. The second game is Ohanayasan Monogatari GBA, or Flower Shop Story GBA, a simulation game where you play as Karen, who aims to open her own flower shop. The gameplay involves selling flowers by bicycle, participating in flower arrangement events, and managing the shop. Romance elements are also present, with potential encounters with characters like Akira. This page is a strategy guide for Golden Sun, The Lost Age on the Game Boy Advance. It details how to progress through the western part of the Oceania continent, starting with rescuing the character Picard from Majora. The guide includes flowcharts for navigating the continent, suggesting routes through locations like the Afred Sea and the Yampi Desert. It highlights the acquisition of Jin and summons, providing specific locations. There's a map of the Oceania continent with points of interest marked, such as the Oceania Cliffs, the Yampi Desert, Afred, and the Goma Cave. The guide also lists available Jin and summons, like Mars Jin, Cannon and Venus Jin, Iron, and gives general guidance on how to use the maps in the guide. This page continues the strategy guide for Golden Sun, The Lost Age. It outlines how to get to Mikasala Village from the Yampi Desert, get the Scoop Energy, and acquire the Mega Era Summon. The page details the route to Mikasala Village and the acquisition of the Scoop Energy in the Yampi Desert. It shows the player using the scoop to unearth underground passages. It also explains how to obtain the Mega Era Summon from a cave near Mikasala Village. The guide advises buying new weapons and armor in Mikasala Village, especially the Saint Ankh. It describes how to use the scoop to find the Mars Jin guts under the village. The page also provides tips on finding the Mercury Jin Peller near the cave entrance by using the Cannon Jin, or fire-based energies against her as she's weak to fire. The next page continues the Golden Sun, The Lost Age strategy guide, focusing on the Yampi Desert Dungeon. It provides a map and detailed instructions on how to navigate the area, defeat the King Scorpion boss, and acquire the scoop energy, also noting the dungeon has 2 exits. The guide explains how to use pillars and the scoop to traverse the desert, trap the King Scorpion, and access hidden areas. It also details the King Scorpion's stats and weaknesses, recommending fire-based attacks and high defense items. The map shows locations of items like the Guardian Ring, Energy Stone, and a path to a dead end, where you can find the Makamuno Mochi. The walkthrough shows the player can get 315 coins with the scoop power. It also notes to follow the arrow sign to the exit. If you go down, you can get guard nuts. This page continues the Golden Sun, the Lost Age strategy guide, focusing on the Afla village and how to acquire the Imagine energy. The guide describes the route to Afla village via the Ayers Rock Mountain and the vampire-infested Pochi village, and what to do when there. It outlines how to get the Imagine energy at Ayers Rock by solving puzzles involving wind and stone statues. The guide explains how to obtain the Jupiter Djinn after solving the puzzle. To make the maze visible, the guide points out you need energy. The guide also notes that on the Ayers Rock, there is a stone slab to summon Flora, which inflicts damage and sleep. The strategy continues with a guide on how to face Payami in the ship. It suggests you focus on the attacks to Payami and that fire attacks work best. The guide also suggests that since the enemy is vulnerable to illusions and sleep, that you use Jasmine's Sleep or Mirage card. The page then details how to meet Alex in Afla, who wants to find a ship, but is not happy working with the player. The page features screenshots of gameplay and boss fights, as well as character portraits and maps. The next page offers a detailed strategy guide for navigating Ayers Rock in Golden Sun, the Lost Age, focusing on acquiring the Lemuria ship. The guide breaks down the complex maze-like structure with numbered instructions for using the spin synergy on rocks to progress, and how to get through the dungeon. It also details puzzle solutions using wind, moving stones, and rotating floors. The text points out secrets such as where to find the Clarity Circle. The page is filled with maps and screenshots, making it a comprehensive walkthrough for this challenging area. This page features a detailed strategy guide for the Ayers Rock area in Golden Sun, the Lost Age, focusing on using the spin synergy to solve puzzles and progress through the maze-like dungeon. Numbered instructions detail how to manipulate rocks, use wind currents, and rotate floors. Key objectives include acquiring the Lemuria ship and locating secrets, like the Clarity Circle, with maps and screenshots for guidance. The next page provides a walkthrough for traversing the Gondwan continent west in Golden Sun, the Lost Age, specifically focusing on how to navigate the region to reach the Lemuria ship. The walkthrough highlights key locations like the Gondwan cliffside, Kibombo village, and Mt. Minto. It gives step-by-step instructions for recruiting Picards, acquiring essential items like the Mars Ginny, and clearing dungeons such as the Goma Golem Shrine. The guide gives important tips for navigating Mt. Minto and advice to upgrade equipment at Nili Village. It contains maps and in-game screenshots for visual guidance. This page provides a walkthrough for the Goma Golem Shrine dungeon in Golden Sun, the Lost Age. The guide starts with how to enter the shrine, digging with a shovel, and using the water spout to reach the entrance. It then details obtaining the Gale Ginny through a rope crossing puzzle. The walkthrough covers various challenges, like pushing rocks, moving logs, and using release to progress. A map of Mt. Minto indicates key locations and item placements, including the wheel axe and the location of the Gale Ginny. It gives advice on how to move through the shrine and areas such as the Kibombo village. This page continues the Goma Golem Shrine walkthrough in Golden Sun, the Lost Age. It focuses on navigating the internal map of the Goma Golem statue, highlighting how to repair the circuits within. The guide details stopping gears using the release synergy, using presses to sync pillars, and rotating panels to fix circuits. Specific instructions are provided for navigating the gear-filled areas. It covers obtaining the black crystal and advises on the Iclon energy needed to progress further. The next page details the walkthrough for obtaining the Lemuria ship in Golden Sun, the Lost Age. It starts by guiding players through Mudra, advising them to collect the Jupiter Djinn and the healing fungus. It mentions receiving the Cyclone Synergy from the town's mayor, and a Mars Djinn from an old man in a house. It also refers to the encounter with Minardi's sister, Cast, and her determination to avenge Robin. The walkthrough then covers the Majora underground ruins, explaining how to acquire the Slide and Rock Synergy. It directs players through the dungeon, explaining how to get the required items. Finally, it describes how to use Cyclone to reveal hidden areas in the Gomagolem statue's basement, leading to a Djinn and the Necronomicon, an item that enables the revive ability when equipped with the Dark Mage class. A detailed map strategy for navigating the Lemuria ship is provided, including how to create ice paths using Aqua Jelly, and defeat a boss called Aqua Hydra, and to use Aqua to activate the ship's engine, which will let you operate the Black Crystal ship. This page provides a strategy guide for Capcom vs. SNK2EO on the Nintendo GameCube. It highlights unique features like GCISM, an analog control scheme for easier special moves. The guide covers how to unlock hidden characters like Evil Ryu and God Rugal by meeting specific conditions in arcade mode, such as finishing within 4 CPU battles, achieving certain GP scores, and performing specific types of KOs. It also showcases moves for both Evil Ryu and God Rugal, along with lists of special and super moves for each character and their corresponding commands. The next page focuses on Capcom characters in Capcom vs. SNK2EO, offering GCISM strategy tips. It introduces the Groove Select system, highlighting Scroove, A-Groove, Scroove, Pick-Groove, Scroove, Ungroove, and K-Groove. The guide provides character-specific tips for Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Guile, Blanca, and Honda. For example, Ryu's GCISM focuses on linking normal attacks and mastering Hadoken, Shoryuken, and Tatsumaki Senpukyaku. Ken's strategy uses his Dragon Lash kick for zoning and powerful Shoryuken. Guile benefits from sonic booms and flash kicks, while Blanca focuses on rolling attacks. Honda's strategy revolves around his strong headbutt. The page also includes screenshots of in-game action, move examples, and character portraits. This page provides an attack guide for several Capcom characters in Capcom vs. SNK2EO. It gives character-specific strategies for Zangief, focusing on his powerful throws and pressure, Cammy highlighting her spiral arrow and cannon spike, Balrog, boxer per meter, Bison emphasizing his speedy and tricky movements, Vega, Claw Balrog focusing on his Psycho Crusher and Vega Warp, Dalsim using Yoga Fire and Yoga Blast, M. Bison, Dictator Vega, utilizing Tiger Crush and Dash Punches, Sagat showcasing his Tiger Shot variations and Tiger Uppercut, and Rolento featuring his tricky moves. Each character section includes a portrait, a short description of their playstyle, a screenshot from the game demonstrating a key move, and a brief tip related to their gameplay. The next page of the Capcom vs. SNK2EO Attack Guide showcases strategies for more characters. We have Eagle, who uses a long-reach staff and tricky maneuvers. Then there's Meiki, with advice on effectively utilizing her High-Ache, with different follow-up attacks. Next we see Morrigan, focusing on her aerial tactics and Dark Illusion Super. Kyosuke has tips on how to make his awkward style a little more accessible with anti-air attacks. We then have Sakura, with emphasis on exploiting openings in her opponent's guard. Yoon focuses on using his combo-heavy attacks. Dan, despite his reputation, has some tricks up his sleeve, even the chance to use his level 3 super, with a little ingenuity. Finally, Akuma is all about setting up combos after launching opponents. This page is an attack guide for GameCube Powerful Pro Baseball 9 on the Nintendo GameCube, giving tips for beginners to clear the 4 scenarios in the game's success mode. It highlights basic techniques, such as resting when your character's stamina is low to avoid injuries, and focusing on friendship tag training to boost abilities significantly. The page then briefly covers the powerful high school scenario and the Akatsuki high school scenario, mentioning the setting of team goals as a captain, and the abundance of strong characters for tag training in the latter. Screenshots from the game show various situations and character stats. The next page continues, the GameCube Powerful Pro Baseball 9 Attack Guide, focusing on ways to strengthen your team and improve your scout evaluation. It discusses inheriting players from previous success mode games to fill gaps in your current team, especially at key positions like first base, catcher, and left-handed pitcher. Dating events and events with your girlfriend can unlock special abilities or boost stats, and participating in home run race mode to play against national players. The page also introduces 2 high school settings. Soyokaze High School, ideal for developing change-up pitchers with the help of Senior Ahato, and Renren High School, where you can build a team from scratch, even appointing a captain in the first year. Screenshots showcase various in-game scenarios, character stats, and includes a team of players, a tournament tree, and the website for the game. This page is an attack guide for Kamaitachi no Yoru Advance, Night of the Sickle Weasel, a sound novel game. It focuses on unlocking hidden scenarios, specifically the pink bookmark scenario. The page explains that these scenarios become available after clearing certain conditions in the main game, leading to 4 additional scenarios: Cypher Chapter, Chunsoft Party Conspiracy Chapter, O's Comedy Chapter, and Spy H Chapter. The guide offers hints on how to unlock the pink bookmark, which appears in the character's diary. The guide provides specific choices players need to make in different scenarios, such as giving a massage to Marie in a certain scene, choosing specific actions at the ski resort, and selecting the ghost option when peering through a window in the spy arc. It also mentions that clearing the mystery arc is essential, and introduces a more challenging hidden scenario, the golden bookmark, promising more extreme content. Screenshots of in-game scenes accompany the tips. The next page is an attack guide for Gachased, Dyna Device, focusing on town development and double attack strategies. The guide details 2 key techniques: developing your town and battling effectively. Developing your town involves increasing its evaluation to earn more funds by managing the residents, Dynas, reducing empty houses, and addressing residents' dissatisfaction, which stems from compatibility issues between Dynas and their environments. For battling, the guide emphasizes the double attack technique, achievable by strategically positioning Dynas and traps on the field. By luring enemy Dynas into specific spots, players can trigger a double attack for consecutive damage. The guide also advises exploring enemy territories, using Recon to identify hidden Dynas and traps. The page features screenshots of gameplay, diagrams of Dyna compatibility charts, and tips on developing powerful devices at the factory to enhance Dyna's abilities in battle. This page from a Japanese magazine offers a guide to Bomberman Generation on the Nintendo GameCube. It gives players tips for navigating the first 4 stages, including boss strategies. For Stage 1, players are advised to destroy objects to open new paths. The boss can be lured near bombs for effective attacks, whilst in Stage 3, the middle boss is vulnerable when descending, and you can aim for its face. In Stage 2, spotlight positions are important to hit the bosses. The guide also notes that in Stage 4, utilizing attribute bombs strategically with your character is essential. Each boss requires different tactics, such as luring them to bomb locations, hitting them as they come down, and when they show smoke. The next page is an attack guide for Crash Bandicoot Advance on the Game Boy Advance. It presents basic actions like high jumping, where you can jump higher by pressing down and A or R and A. Body press is a move where you press RAR during a jump, and it's useful to destroy stacked crates. The spin attack grants invincibility when timed correctly before hitting an enemy. Sliding can be used to get through tight spaces and destroy boxes under TNT crates. The page also includes a time attack challenge. After clearing a stage, you can replay it for a time attack, which starts by finding a stopwatch near the starting point. Clear within the target time to get a trophy. The page lists target times for earning sapphire and gold trophies on each of the 20 stages. This page is a full-page advertisement for Rally 3 on the Game Boy Advance. It highlights the game's 3D racing, 42 courses, and the Rally mode. It was on sale for 4,800 yen from June 27, 2002. This page features stickers from Nintendo Dream Volume 72. It includes stickers from Super Mario Sunshine and Star Fox Adventures. There's also a collection of stickers featuring Animal Crossing characters for labeling items like school days, club activities, travel, dates, and vacations, plus some with quirky messages like melancholy. There are memory card stickers with artwork from Super Smash Bros. DX and Super Mario Sunshine, showcasing characters like Link, Zelda, Marth, Roy, Fox, and Falco, along with scenes from the games. Additionally, there are GameCube title label stickers for Disney's Magical Park, Kikai Sekai Evolucia, and MTSU to No Hoban. The page also includes Super Monkey Ball, 2 stickers, and I love Mario, Peach, and Luigi stickers. The bottom of the page has an address for submitting fan content, and a note saying, "These stickers are for sending in submissions." It also lists labels for memory cards for family members: father, mother, older brother, older sister, younger brother, and younger sister. The next page is a vibrant yellow color, seemingly a blank page, or perhaps a page of solid color without any discernible content or markings. This page announces a new section called Nindori Gakuen, Nindori Academy. The Nindori Academy section is 16 pages of black and white content. They hope to deliver new and exciting features. Reader comments include: one reader asks if Nindori is changing. Another encourages the team to keep their stance and not change the magazine's core. A reader bids farewell to the old Nindori and welcomes the new. Someone asks for a lower price, but the editors assure they will provide value for money. Reader contributions include fan art featuring various Nintendo characters, congratulatory messages for the magazine's bi-monthly release. The Nindori editorial department has moved to a new address: 1,020,083, Tokyo, Chiyodaku, Kujimachi 42, Daitu Kujimachi Building 8F. Nintendo Dream Editorial Department, Nindori Gakuen. The page also encourages readers to continue sending in submissions. This page features the This Week's Nindorizan section, which introduces a new character named Eikai Neko Miyusei, a cat-eyed fairy from the Lowell and Hyrule Plains. Her special skill is to combine with 10 other bodies. The Ask Nindori section answers reader questions. One reader asks the new Nindori editorial department to introduce themselves and their favorite things. Readers respond with their preferences, including: one person prefers stimulating conversations with close friends over alcohol. Another enjoys strawberry-flavored chocolate. Quote, someone is a fan of the Hanshin Tigers baseball team and gets excited over match results. One reader likes cats and playing online novel games. A person still loves guitar and is a ham fan. Others enjoy good food, relaxing on the sofa, and playing video games. The page also includes reader-submitted dreams, where readers share their interesting dreams. Finally, it features the PTA of Nindori Academy section. One reader shares how his mother attributes mistakes to Goshoka, while another reveals that they've been buying the magazine on the same day as their spouse. One reader admits to being a monster/bake mono enthusiast and received strange looks from their parents as a result. The editors note that Nindori is a game magazine that is popular among women and families. This page presents a mix of reader contributions and magazine features. It starts with a question asking readers whether they would rather work under Mr. Iwata or Mr. Miyamoto. Readers give reasons for their choices, some preferring Mr. Iwata because Mr. Yamauchi chose him as his successor, others choosing Mr. Miyamoto for creating The Legend of Zelda. The page showcases readers' prized possessions, with photos and descriptions of 2 treasures: Zelda's breakable walls and dungeons, and Mario's medicine containers. One reader describes walls from The Legend of Zelda that remind them of the game, and another sends in various syrup containers with Mario-themed art. A failure story section features anecdotes from readers, including one who was excited to have a submission published in Nindori, only to find their pen name was misspelled. The page concludes with information on submitting content to the magazine, and a note about the next issue. This page starts with a reader's question expressing their fondness for the Golden Sun, playfully calling it sesame jerky. The first section invites reader opinions, while the second showcases amusing submissions. A reader from Ibaraki Prefecture expresses their dream of working for Nindori's editorial department, hoping to become an illustrator like Masuzu, and is currently working on 4 Koma comics for the Guardians. The talent show section features reader creations, including fan art of Mario and other characters. The page then presents a things that I'm kinda curious about segment. One reader mentions that taking Starfy makes them invincible. Another thinks Link's clothes looks like a baby's shirt. And a reader discovers that Hippocrates from Animal Crossing was a historical figure, a father of medicine. There are other submissions that include a reference to hydrangea and Peach's new ponytail hairstyle. Finally, the Help! Game Emergency Team section offers advice on getting all the emblems in Star Fox 64, suggesting to start with Aquilina, Sector X, and Titania, and so on. This page contains a collection of reader impressions and an invitation for more submissions. It starts with a general call for short impressions of games. There are reader reviews of games. One reader enjoys Super Mario Bros. DX and shares their positive experience of playing the game, describing it as a great port of the original. Another reader talks about Fire Emblem, appreciating the game's accessibility for beginners. They also mention how Animal Crossing initially diverted them from Fire Emblem, but they found themselves hooked after playing it at a friend's house. There's a section titled One-Word Impressions, where readers share brief thoughts on various games. One reader hopes to see a new Ice Climber game where Popo and Nana are adults, and another expresses joy that the president of Belki is called Fox in Animal Crossing. There are some other submissions about characters in games as well. The page also includes a call for submissions of short 4-character impressions of recently released games, specifically mentioning Super Mario Sunshine and Golden Sun: The Lost Age. This page is an advertisement for the board game Catan, also known as Settlers of Catan. It's described as a popular game with simple rules but deep strategy, enjoyed by many in the gaming industry. The ad promotes the game's release in Japan and features a challenge between Capcom and Nindori Gakuen staff. There's a contest, and the page invites readers to send in their impressions and stories of playing Catan. The ad includes photos of the Capcom and Nindori teams, game components, and details about how to play, including the board and dice. There is a mention of the price, 4,980 yen, and instructions on how to win a signed copy of the game or a Catan t-shirt. The reader needs to send a postcard with their details. The next page features a retrospective on the NES classic, Mario Bros., subtitled, The First Mario to Jump and Hit Blocks. It frames the game as a precursor to Super Mario Bros., highlighting how the core mechanic of hitting blocks from below evolved from simply stunning enemies to breaking blocks. The article emphasizes the competitive 2-player mode, showcasing screenshots of Mario and Luigi attempting to knock each other off platforms using POW blocks. It touches on the unique behaviors of enemies like the shell creepers, sidesteppers, fighter flies, and freezers, adding variety to the simple gameplay. The piece is meant to celebrate the release of Mario Sunshine and highlights Mario Bros. As a cornerstone of the series, and that version of the game is available as a part of Super Mario Advance. It laments that the 4-player link-up option means that the screen is cropped to fit on handheld display. This page is titled Game Scenery Theory, Episode 1, by Akira Himekawa, who is introduced as a duo manga artist responsible for the comic adaptations of several Zelda games published by Shogakukan, including Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. The page features illustrations of Link from Ocarina of Time, a fairy, Epona, and Toucan Link from The Wind Waker. The art has a manga style with speech bubbles and a small cartoon of Himekawa, shown writing. Himekawa introduces a new corner/section in the magazine, promising to draw various things they think about. They also mention that the first installment of the section is the responsibility of Himekawa. This page is titled GSC Edition Zelda Makes Me Jealous. It's an article about the upcoming GameCube Zelda game. The author, Akira Himekawa, expresses excitement for the new animation style and admits to being not very good at games, but acknowledges the appeal of Zelda. The article is dated August 2001 and mentions the Makuhari Mess event. There are drawings of people excited to see the game. Himekawa emphasizes how shocking the new GameCube Link is compared to the N64 Link. She mentions that she originally wanted to be an animator and was inspired by Toei animation movies. There's also a scene of Link on a boat, which Himekawa finds nostalgic, and she admits to having a soft spot for characters with cat-like eyes. She notes that animation for character designs is often based on movement, and is looking forward to the GameCube version. Himekawa writes that the N64 Zelda was easy to empathize with and enjoyable to create manga for, and that the new GameCube Zelda feels like it's tapping into a deeper, more personal part of her that she had treasured. The game feels both fresh and nostalgic, and she believes it will be a high-quality work of art. The next installment of the column will feature Himekawa Fen. The next page presents Game Music Forum, a new corner dedicated to introducing game music. The first installment focuses on the origins of Nintendo's game music, highlighting a CD titled Famicom Music Volume 1. The column begins with an introduction, inviting readers to share their experiences with game music. The author, Masatoshi Nakamura, recounts personal memories of humming game tunes and feeling a connection to them. The column aims to convey the joy and depth of game music from various perspectives. Famicom Music Volume 1 features music from classic Famicom titles such as Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda. The CD aims to capture the essence of these games, with their iconic melodies and sound effects. It is noted that this CD is enjoyable for both veteran and new players, even those who may not have played the games. The CD was released on January 9, 2002, and the tracks include Super Mario Bros., Balloon Fight, Balloon Trip, Donkey Kong, Baseball/Soccer, Wrecking Crew, Super Mario Bros. Arranged version, Donkey Kong Jr., Excitebike, Mario Bros., and The Legend of Zelda. The page includes contact information for those interested in sending feedback or sharing their thoughts on game music. This page features Nintendo Dream Around the World, a corner by Yutaka Obuchi, a Japan-based correspondent for the American gaming magazine Electronic Gaming Monthly. The article discusses Nintendo's approach to online gaming, contrasting it with the current landscape dominated by PC games. It begins with an introduction to the revamped corner and mentions that upcoming issues will alternate between current topics and games every 2 weeks. The author suggests that while many see online gaming as the future, Nintendo might be taking a different approach, experimenting since the Famicom era and carefully assessing the potential obstacles to widespread adoption. A key concern is the limited number of people with broadband access in Japan and the complexities of billing and payment. The author points out that many American gamers are hesitant to pay for online games at all. The current state of online RPGs, like Final Fantasy XI, is limited. The column also contrasts Nintendo's approach with Microsoft's Xbox Live and Sony's broadband unit for the PlayStation 2. A brief section titled Yutaka's News shares personal anecdotes, including attending RubuCup events, feeling a sense of loss after the festival, watching sports on Sky Perfect TV, and enjoying DVDs. The page ends with contact information for readers to send feedback or questions about English and overseas games. The next page is a column titled Nindori Gakuen, featuring the Desu Immortal. It answers reader questions with humorous advice. The first question involves a reader whose cat chews on controller cords, and the Desu Immortal suggests using cat repellent spray. The second question concerns strange noises coming from an AC adapter. The Desu Immortal assures the reader that slight buzzing or humming is normal, but advises caution if there's a strong odor. The next question asks about the benefits of video cables and which type of video input is recommended. The Desu Immortal explains the difference between composite and video signals and recommends D-terminal if available, but notes that SVideo is also good. Finally, the Desu Immortal final corner bids farewell. A reader expresses their desire for the corner to continue in New Dream. The Desu Immortal assures them it will continue and thanks everyone. A small section has people talk about drinking drive pepper. There's a small advert at the top right for Midori Harada. This page features columns from the editorial department, starting with The Strongest Wrestler and a Reunion. It discusses the president of Pro Wrestling Noah, Mitsuharu Misawa, and his connection to the world of wrestling. The author recalls meeting Misawa and being impressed by his aura, then recalling Misawa's time as Tiger Mask and a match he saw. The column also mentions Misawa's fondness for video games, revealing he plays games with his son and enjoys titles like Mario Sunshine and Super Robot Wars. Another column, Now We Can Say It, reflects on the release of Super Mario 64 6 years prior. It mentions the Famimaga 64 magazine and features a custom illustration of Sakura Kasugano from Street Fighter drawn by Takada Akemi. The column also discusses a planned Wonder Project J2 special feature for the magazine. They also touch on Star Ocean and Super Mario 64, mentioning a contest they had with readers. They also mention a few other games, such as Island of Wind. Finally, there are reports from staff members, including Tanemachi Masumi, who joined the Nindori editorial department. Takashima Toshihiro, a former NSTA editor, also contributes. The next page features Koma-chan's Waku Waku Advertising Department diary, focusing on the Shooting King game. The editorial team brought in Morioka from Tanasmi to demonstrate the game. Koma-chan describes the retro feel of the Shake-Con controller, which connects to the TV and lets you shoot at targets on the screen. She notes the game offers a summer festival night market atmosphere, with the controller being high-tech despite its old-fashioned appearance. Koma-chan commends herself and puts her heart into the gameplay. The game features multiple minigames with various targets, all playable with the gun controller. There are 6 minigames in total, and it supports 2-player mode. There is a roulette-style game, a carnival game, where you have to hit objects on a conveyor belt, a gallery game where you hit targets, and even a game of darts that you play with a rifle. The prize is to give away 5 copies of the game, including the address of the Nintendo Dream editorial department for entries. Included are screenshots from the game and photos of the editorial team. The game retails for 5,800 yen. This page is the Star Fox Communication Corner from the Gosshawker, the Next Generation segment of the magazine. The writer, Nakajo, thanks readers for sending in Star Fox illustrations and apologizes for the monochrome presentation due to being busy with comics. The first segment of this page is Star Fox Comic Anecdote, a robot character that appears briefly in the cat's ship. Nakajo designed it as a dedicated spacecraft engineer, but forgot about it, so it has no further appearances, which they express some regret over. There are also fan contributions, including artwork of the Star Fox team and Adros, Fox, and Wolf O'Donnell, along with other characters and comic strips. The fan comments are positive, praising the artwork and characters. The next section teases the next target of Gosshawker as the Royal Guard. The writer states they are still trying to survive and will continue the Fox comic anecdote if there's enough positive feedback. Readers are encouraged to send questions. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. The next page is a reader survey from Nintendo Dream Volume 72. It asks readers to fill out a questionnaire about their favorite games, consoles they own or plan to buy, and their opinions on the magazine's content. Specifically, it references the new CMS for games like Hamtaro 3 and Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Readers are asked about what games they play, their age, gender, the magazines they read, and what they think of the magazine's redesign. In a side panel titled Hot-Blooded Editorial Staff Presents Unnecessarily Passionate Survey page, the editorial staff, consisting of Muscle and Oka, humorously comment on the survey itself. Muscle declares himself the survey boss, while Oka remarks on Muscle's aggressive tactics. They also mention a Wavebird giveaway, as well as other rare goods. This page is a Nintendo hard and soft release schedule. It lists upcoming game releases for the Nintendo GameCube and Game Boy Advance. The list includes titles, release dates, manufacturers, and prices. Games with a star are newly listed, while games with a dot have had their release date or title changed since the last issue. Some featured GameCube games include Beach Spikers, Super Mario Sunshine, Disney's Magical Park, and Star Fox Adventures. For the Game Boy Advance, some titles include Hamster Paradise Advance, Hot Wheels Advance, and Konshu Hakase, Boku no Mushitsuka Maete. The bottom lists games for the Game Boy Color, like Hamster Story, Doraemon Quiz Boy 2, Dragon Ball Z, and Kirby Family. The next page is from the Ask Nintendo Q and a section of the magazine. The theme is Readers' Questions Answered. The page features a Q&A with Nintendo about Super Mario Sunshine and includes an image of Mario with FLUDD. The Q&A has a section with a quote on the game from Nintendo and includes information about the game and the developer's thoughts. It also mentions that Nintendo is renewing both Nindori and Nintendo Stadium. The reviewer is looking forward to the Mario Sunshine game and is looking back on the release of Super Mario 64. This page is another installment of the Ask Nintendo section, focusing on Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube. Question 2 asks about the playtime of Super Mario Sunshine, with Nintendo playfully dodging a specific number to preserve the game's surprise. They highlight the game's volume being equal to or greater than Super Mario 64, and emphasize the freedom and replayability, encouraging players to enjoy it at their own pace. Question 3 asks if the water pump in Super Mario Sunshine has a name. Nintendo reveals that it was temporarily called Pump, tentative, but is now officially called Pump. In the TV commercials, it's also referred to as Water Pump, to better communicate its function. Question 4 asks about the number of CM variations for Super Mario Sunshine. Nintendo states there are 4 patterns, 2 featuring the pump and 2 featuring jumping. The CMS use the exhilarating feeling of jumping and introduces the new gameplay from the pump. These CMS will be running on large screens in major cities during July. Question 5 asks about the reason behind the Mario Supporters Club recruitment. Nintendo says they want to boost Mario, and explains it's because it is Mario's first debut on the GameCube. They want to do more than just air regular commercials. A small advert in the corner promotes voting for a Nindori project to meet Miyamoto. This page addresses reader questions about Nintendo products. Regarding Memory Card 59 for the GameCube, Nintendo has no plans to discontinue it, noting price differences and varying user needs. The GameCube LCD monitor is undecided, though a 4 GameCube/LCD setup for Phantasy Star Online was demonstrated at E3. Game for Game Boy Advance, shown at E3 as a reference, allows face capture and integration with GameCube games and Animal Crossing. The Super Smash Bros. DX concert is only in Tokyo. Nintendo plans to record it and considers CD or TV release. Finally, European GameCube sales are strong, exceeding supply. The next page features an Ask Nintendo section. A reader asks about the status of a Pikmin sequel, to which Nintendo confirms it is in development. Miyamoto wants to explore new ideas and characters. The Pikmin ending hints at a sequel. A reader asks when the official title for The Legend of Zelda GC will be decided, and Nintendo answers, after autumn. Trademark issues and logo design are delaying the announcement. The company hints at a title similar to past entries like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. A reader expresses excitement for The Legend of Zelda GC, and Nintendo says the game has improved since E3. The writer saw the game played and comments on Zelda GC, stating that he feels as though it will be close to perfection. Another question is about how many copies Pikmin sold. Nintendo proudly announces it has surpassed 1 million copies. The soundtrack includes French CM songs. Finally, a reader asks for a recommended Game Boy Advance game, and Nintendo suggests Custom Robo GX, noting its unique gameplay. The page includes images of the Pikmin and the enemies for the new upcoming Legend of Zelda GameCube game. This page features the Ask Nintendo Q&A section and other information. The page discusses Custom Robo GX for the Game Boy Advance, mentioning the ability to customize robots and battle using a link cable to strategize against opponents. Events are being held at stores where players can battle a hidden robot and win prizes. A recommendation is made for Super Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island. A reader asks about a golden Mario statue, and Nintendo clarifies it's a display item, not for sale, and must be returned if a store closes. A reader asks if anything changed since Iwata became president. Nintendo says the soft-first strategy remains unchanged. Promotion efforts may evolve, but the 6 board members will jointly decide management policy. The page includes an image of the golden Mario statue held by a person, along with a caricature of Iwata as the new president. It shows an illustration of the former president Yamauchi, and discusses the atmosphere within Nintendo. There was a photo shoot with the former president Yamauchi and the staff. The atmosphere is said to be familial. The reception area now displays GameCube replica. The next page presents Pokemon fan information featuring Pikachu promoting Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. It announces the release of Pichu Bros Mini, a collection of 6 mini-games for the Pokemon Mini console, a follow-up to Pokemon Party Mini. The games include Skateboarding with Pichu, a Diglett Whack-A-Mole game, a Hop-Hip jumping game, and a Carvana game, with multiplayer support for up to 10 players via infrared communication. Also announced are Pokemon Cruises, which includes an event featuring Pokemon 5, the opening theme from the Pokemon movie short. The event includes Dondokodon and Yamada Hanako. Finally, it spotlights Pokemon cards exclusive to theaters, featuring the villainous Team Aqua and Team Magma sisters from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. The cards featured are Umbreon card owned by Xanner and Ariados owned by Lion. The next page features more Pokemon news and merchandise. It highlights a new service for mobile phone users called Pokemon Hiroba, offering downloadable Pokemon images, with content varying by region. It advertises the ANA's Pika Natsu Pokemon Center in Sapporo, selling exclusive ANA and Hokkaido goods, including cheese financier, a box of sweets, and a Magmilk tank mug. Also spotlighted are Lashios and Lashias merchandise related to the new Pokemon movie. This includes a special edition Game Boy Advance in blue and red, and a set of baked goods, with illustrations by Ken Sugimori. Finally, it describes the Pokemon Happy Adventure Rally 2002 event on the Yamanote line in Tokyo, where participants collect Pokemon Card E at different stations to receive a special gift. This page is from a Capcom Mania section, providing the latest information. It starts with a Q and a with Mr. Hagihara from Capcom's advertising department. The first question discusses why a demo version was included with the pre-order bonus for Resident Evil 0, stating that the Resident Evil series has multiple releases each year, with the goal to get people familiar with the game. The second question asks why the Mega Man series isn't on GameCube, answering that the focus is currently on Resident Evil for the Game Boy Advance. The third question asks for recommended Capcom games. Mr. Hagihara suggests Resident Evil 0 and Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney 2, as well as Mega Man Battle Network 3. The page also features a Rockman museum, showcasing design materials for Mega Man 0 on the Game Boy Advance. It describes Zero, who has awoken from a 100-year slumber to help save the Reploids, and concept art of his equipment. Additionally, there's an eCapcom Mania section, advertising Capcom's official online shop. It showcases a Resident Evil wristwatch featuring Rebecca Chambers and a Resident Evil neck strap. The navigator for this section is Ms. Urasawa Kasumi from Capcom. The next page focuses on Mega Man Battle Network 3, hyping it as urgent new informations. It's presented as a data-action RPG for the Game Boy Advance, supporting 12 players and GBA communication cables. The page teases an unending net crime storyline, with Lan and Mega Man teaming up again. Despite Mega Man Battle Network 2 still selling well, sequel details are already emerging, involving new battle chips, enemies, and a mysterious organization. It mentions Lan Hikari arriving on a rocky island, and a high-tech virus research lab. A shady figure in Chinese attire is shown, apparently placing Lan on their organization's blacklist. New types of viruses that Mega Man will fight are introduced, including Rounder and Flashman. The page also highlights new battle chips and updated chip illustrations. Some new chips shown are Copy Damage, Air Shooter, Roll, and others. It adds that the Roll Navy chip provides both attack and recovery. This page introduces a project called Sega Crush, where the editorial department challenges Sega's development studios. It features a monkey character and focuses on Super Monkey Ball 2 for the GameCube. 2 members of the editorial department will compete against 2 members of Sega's development team. If the editorial team wins, they will receive the company's sign or treasure, and if they lose, they will have to comply with the development studio's request. The game featured is Monkey Race 2 for up to 8 players, with course selection, time attacks, and item usage being key. Screenshots show the gameplay interface with speed and lap times. The first opponent for the editorial team is Sega AM2, and the Sega AM2 representatives are Terada Yoshiki and Kato Masayuki. The contest against the team is held in the Sega AM2 conference room on a large LCD monitor, and the editorial team lost with 1 win and 2 losses. Quote, a Sega AM2 and a segment features an interview with the development team, highlighting their dedication to realistic gameplay and graphics, particularly character motion and detail. They credit Yu Suzuki as an inspiration and emphasize their team's ambition to excel, boasting about their 200-person staff and advanced technology. Specifics like a preference for foreign resources in female character design and the difficulty of the control scheme are mentioned. The page also includes Sega topics with exclusive merchandise and a Waku Waku Game Party event, along with a new Sega hotline for user feedback and questions, aiming to surpass Nintendo's similar feature. This page features fan art submissions for the Soryuke Mario Shine Eye segment. It opens with a greeting mentioning the hot weather and encouraging readers to play and submit content to the newly revamped Nindori magazine. The fan art section showcases various illustrations inspired by different games. One piece features Link from The Legend of Zelda, with another highlighting Super Mario Sunshine with Princess Peach. There are also pieces inspired by Super Smash Bros. DX, Final Fantasy Tactics, Biohazard, and Golden Sun. Additionally, some art draws inspiration from Super Mario Sunshine, featuring a fun Mario and Yoshi artwork, and a pirate-themed picture. The artists and their respective prefectures are listed below each piece. The next page features fan art submissions for the Soryuke Mario Shine Eye segment of Nindori magazine. First is an illustration of Rockman.exe, with the artist from Kyoto saying they are excited about the release of XE3. Next is a cool drawing of Link from The Legend of Zelda. The artist from Yamagata wanted to capture the expression of the enemy. A piece inspired by Super Smash Bros. DX, featuring a showdown between the Mario and Zelda teams, is submitted by an artist from Fukuoka. There's also a summer-themed Kirby illustration, created by someone from Fukuoka. Another piece features fan art from Mother 2, with the artist from Atichi saying they drew the much-loved underground continent. An artwork of an adult Ruto from Ocarina of Time, submitted by an artist from Hokkaido with an interest in drawing the character. A group shot of various links is submitted by an artist from Iwate, who loves hand-drawn illustrations. Finally, there are several small doodles and comments celebrating the renewal of Nindori magazine and various fan art drawings. One artist from Osaka thanks the editors for their hard work on the magazine, and other artists contribute celebratory drawings of characters like Kirby, Nintendogs, and various Pokémon. The next page is a collection of comic strips and illustrations sent in by readers. The first strip from Fukuoka Prefecture features Fox McCloud and Kirby in a humorous situation, with Kirby trying to cool off in the summer heat. The second comic, from Niigata Prefecture, shows Link at the beach, worrying about swimsuits due to his young age. A strip from Kanagawa Prefecture reimagines Link's house as a ramen shop. Another strip from Kanagawa shows Wayness and Link with a strange ability. A comic from Achichi Prefecture features characters from Sangame who fall into a pit. There are also other comic strips featuring characters from Resident Evil and Super Smash Bros., plus Sonic the Hedgehog. A submission from Osaka Prefecture depicts Mario and Luigi in a comical scene. Finally, a comic from Shizuoka Prefecture shows Kirby's eating habits in a funny way. This page showcases a collection of fan art and illustrations submitted by readers. One piece depicts Barry, Jill, Rebecca, and Chris from Resident Evil. Another features Foxman, inspired by the comic strip by Mr. Nakawe. There's also a cute drawing of Mario, and a feminized version of Fox and Crystal. A submission shows the character Marth. There's fan art for Shining Soul, and art for Golden Sun. A drawing of Link and Zelda in the style of the early games. The page also includes art based on Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade, featuring characters like Roy, Lilina, and Zephiel. There's also a fan art piece featuring the characters Roy and Marth. Other illustrations include characters from Rockman X, Metroid Prime, and the game Gyakuten Saiban. Finally, there is a fan art drawing of Mario and Luigi. The next page features a collection of fan-submitted artwork inspired by the theme, This Summer's One Game. One charming piece depicts Yoshi and Baby Mario in a watercolor style. Another artwork showcases Princess Peach from Super Mario Sunshine, with the artist commenting on her appealing design. There is fan art for Golden Sun, with the artist recalling memories of playing it last summer. Another fan art of Mario from Super Mario Sunshine, surrounded by tropical flowers. There's also fan art for Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1 and 2. With the artist expressing excitement for the game's release. Another piece shows the character of Link, and another fan art depicts Mario and Yoshi, described as having a nostalgic, childhood connection. Other submissions include art based on Mr. Driller and Super Mario Sunshine. Other illustrations include characters from Sakura Momoko no Uki Carnival, Custom Robo GX, Luigi's Mansion, Smash Bros. DX, Power Pro, and Mario's Heroes. The page also announces the theme for the next submissions, My Expectations, and the submission after that is The End of Summer. This page showcases fan art submissions themed around the Mario Supporter Squad. The page features a section called Illustrations Under 10 Years Old, with charming drawings of characters like a train station employee from Animal Crossing and Kirby. There are also fan illustrations inspired by events in the Animal Crossing game, and a scene with Bobo and Nana from Ice Climber. There is a fan letter section, featuring readers' artwork and messages. A fan has drawn a picture of Pikachu, who states they love the character, and have included the image on their mobile phone. Another fan drawing is of Homer Simpson from The Simpsons. The page also presents a list of individuals who have achieved special promotions within the Mario Supporter Squad, listing names and affiliations such as Sarumanto Gan, Momonari Hana, and various other names. The lower section displays additional fan art, including a mushroom-themed drawing and fan art for Super Mario Sunshine. The page concludes with information on how to submit illustrations, specifying guidelines for size and content, and provides an address for submissions to the Nindori editorial department. The next page reveals dream techniques for Crazy Taxi, unveiling 4 hidden mode commands. It introduces new ways to enjoy the game. The page details how to unlock hidden modes in Crazy Taxi, including Expert Mode. One mode removes the arrows that show the direction to the destination, challenging players to rely on their knowledge of the city. Another mode removes the destination markers entirely. There's also the Secret View mode, where the viewpoint is different, adding to the challenge. To unlock Expert Mode, the page advises pressing the L and R triggers and Start buttons on the mode select screen until the word Expert appears. In the No Arrows mode, players need to press the R trigger and Start button until the text No Arrows shows up on the screen. For the Destination Markers mode, players need to press the L trigger and Start button until the text No Destination Mark appears. The page includes screenshots and instructions for activating these modes. This page features dream techniques for Capcom vs SNK2EO, detailing how to unlock hidden modes. There are 3 modes you can unlock. One mode allows you to fight only the boss characters, and another lets you change various conditions. To unlock Boss Battle mode, the page advises to persevere and try unlocking it. Also, there is a section for Golden Sun called Changing Your Friends' Names. It describes how to change the names of your party members. And finally, an article on Family Tennis Advance called Rare Item Acquisition Method. It goes over obtaining rare items by clearing challenge mode up to the 3rd type with good results, and then winning a match using the item that appears on the 4th item. The page also has a call for readers to submit their own dream techniques. There are prizes, including shopping vouchers worth up to 10,000 yen. Readers are instructed to send their techniques, along with game title, details, address, name, and phone number via postcard or fax. The next page unveils new soft flash, spotlighting titles on the horizon. The spotlight is on Tales of the World, Narrated Dungeon 2 for the Game Boy Advance, a costume-changing RPG where you explore another world using the Narrated system. The article mentions that there are over 150 costumes to collect, either from shops or dungeons, to create unique combinations. Key characters, such as Frio and Chiaro, are introduced, alongside the goddess Ita. The screenshots showcase the battle system, a real-time, linear motion battle where players control one character against enemies. Additionally, the page highlights costume changes and their impact on abilities, featuring examples like swordsman, archer, ninja, and musician. There is also a look at the nurse job. This page features 2 Nintendo GameCube games: the Baseball 2002, Battle Ballpark Declaration Perfect Play Pro Baseball by Konami, and WrestleMania X8 by Ukes. The Baseball 2002 boasts TV-like realistic graphics with real player data up to June. Features include a home run competition mode, an edit mode for creating players, an arrange mode for team customization, and a player directory with detailed stats. Screenshots show the game's graphics, edit mode options, and player lists. WrestleMania X8 aims to recreate the excitement of WWE wrestling with intuitive controls and a reversal system. The game showcases signature entrances and match types, such as cage matches and Royal Rumbles. The page also advertises a limited edition t-shirt available with the first edition purchase. The next page features Monster Farm Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance, where you can raise and battle monsters in a farm that changes with the seasons. The main monster is named Geru. The game includes exploring dungeons to find items and features new monsters like Gitan and Raiden. The page also showcases Dragon Ball Z, Densetsu no Chousen Shitachi, a card battle game for the Game Boy Color. The game retells the story of Goku and his friends. Battles are conducted using cards, with story elements interspersed with battle segments. Key characters like Goku, Piccolo, and Majin Buu make appearances. The game allows you to fight against opponents, and features events from the series, such as Goku's battle with Raditz and the training with Piccolo. This page showcases 2 titles for the Game Boy Advance: Air Force Delta 2 and Silent Scope. Air Force Delta 2, described as an exhilarating aerial combat game, emphasizes ease of play with simplified controls and powered-up weapons. Screenshots show gameplay with various aircraft and mission briefings that include destroying dams and infiltrating research facilities. It features a tutorial for beginners, selectable difficulty levels, and missions involving ground target destruction and air combat. Silent Scope, a port of the arcade hit, challenges players to find enemies and take them out with their sniper scope. The screenshots show the scope view. The game features an original story, seemingly set on a luxury liner, and introduces a new shooting range mode. The original story is about a terrorist Capturing a VIP. The next page is a vibrant advertisement featuring two games, All-Star Baseball 2003 for the Nintendo GameCube, and a dating sim called Haruka Naru Toki no Nakade for the Game Boy Advance. All-Star Baseball 2003 highlights realistic graphics, featuring player models with motion capture, 3D cyberscanning, and detailed stadiums. The game offers players a realistic baseball experience with attention to detail. Haruka Naru Toki no Nakade is a romance adventure set in a fantasy version of the Heisei era. The screenshots show characters and battle scenes. The game features a premium box with a special priestess pouch. The main character is the priestess Akane. This page features Chobits for Game Boy Advance, a simulation game where you live with the doll-like Perso.com Chi and Fancy Pocket. A simulation where you manage your own jewelry shop. In Chobits, you find Chi in the garbage and start living together. The gameplay focuses on communication and training with three methods: talking training, imitation training, and mental training. Depending on the situation, the training methods will change. Fancy Pocket allows you to become a charismatic shop owner by selling accessories. You expand your business by selling accessories and enlarge your shop. Accessories like sun jewels appear in the game. The page also covers Galaxy Angel Game Boy Advance, a board game with mini-games. The mini-games include shooting and quiz games, and losing them can lead to game overs, so strategic gameplay is important. The next page presents an advertisement for the Light Boy Advance, a light and magnifier attachment for the Game Boy Advance. It showcases 4 available colors: orange, March 24, 2001 debut; midnight blue, November 30, 2001 debut, Toys R Us exclusive; light purple, December 21, 2001 debut; and Sax Blue, April 27, 2002 debut. The ad lists the price at 2,680 yen and mentions it's licensed by Nintendo. It is compatible with the Game Boy Advance, using 2 XAAA batteries. A Nintendo GameCube software catalog lists upcoming games. Titles include action games like Zoids vs. August 9th release, Kinnikuman Tusei, and a One Piece adaptation, or PGS, like Kikai Sekai Evolution, and the delayed Phantasy Star Online episode, Eyes and 2 are also featured. Other notable entries are Star Fox Adventures, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and various Sonic, Wario, and Zelda titles. Several games are noted as tentative titles or have release dates mentioned, including a compilation of classic Sonic games and a Virtua Fighter title. Porting of existing titles like Soul Calibur 2 and Sonic Adventure 1 are also included. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. The next page showcases upcoming and released GameCube titles. Several now-making titles are previewed, including UFC 2 Tapeout, Disney Sports; American Football, Disney Sports; Basketball, NBA, Live 2003, 1080 Degrees GC, Mario Golf GC, Mario Tennis GC, Mr. Driller Drill Land, Kyoku Mahjong DX, To the Fourth Mondo 21 Cup Competition, Issei Meijin VIX, Dokapon DX The World is an Oni, and Mario Party 4. A list of already released GameCube titles is shown in a table format, including games from the action, RPG, adventure, shooting, race, sports, and other genres, along with their release dates, prices, and required blocks. Titles like Super Monkey Ball, Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Animal Forest Plus, and Super Mario Sunshine are among the games listed. The text comments on how surprising it is to see titles like Phantasy Star and Zelda together. This page is a full-page advertisement for a strategy guidebook. It features techniques and secret photos for multiple games on a 5 size, priced at 1,200 yen, published by Mycom MOOC, and supervised by Kazuhiko Kanadaichi. The book is called Wide Technique Garden of Secret Skills, 0203 Complete Color Edition, and includes 480 techniques with 3,500 skills. It focuses on games like Super Robot Wars Impact, Tekken 4, Xenosaga, and Dead or Alive 3, showcasing the latest techniques, all in color with carefully selected content. The contact for sales and business inquiries is included, along with the URL for Mycom. The next page showcases the Japanese release cover art for Super Mario Sunshine on the Nintendo GameCube, featuring Mario, F.L.Udd, Princess Peach, Yoshi, and a shadowy Mario figure. It's advertising the game's availability in stores, with a price of 6,800 yen. This page is a back cover of Nintendo Dream Volume 72, dated August 21, 2002. It mentions the next issue, Volume 73, will be released on August 6 and will cost 490 yen. The next menu section teases a feature on Super Mario Sunshine and a thorough introduction to Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire, plus the introduction of third-party content. The editor's voice section includes short comments from various staff members on topics ranging from the magazine's redesign and new features to personal experiences with games like Super Mario Sunshine. The staff list includes names like Chief Editor Takashi Yamamori, Editor-in-Chief Akimasa Hidario, Deputy Editor-in-Chief Hidehiro Takashima, and many more. Contact information for the editorial and advertising departments is provided, along with the official website address. This page is an advertisement for Bubble Bobble, old and new for the Game Boy Advance, scheduled for release on July 25th at a price of 4,800 yen. The advertisement features the Nintendo Dream logo and a collection of enemies and characters from the game. It also highlights the combination of classic and new versions, claiming 200% fun! The ad includes screenshots and the Media Kite website address, along with a Taito copyright notice. The next page is an advertisement for Klonoa 2, Dream Champ Tournament for the Game Boy Advance, scheduled for release on August 6th and priced at 4,800 yen. The ad includes fireworks and features Klonoa, along with other characters. It touts an in-game summer campaign where you can win Klonoa-themed merchandise, including a clear file, a GameCube, and a Game Boy Advance screen cover. 10,000 winners will be chosen for the Klonoa Special Original Goods.